Wait, well, you changed it again because I kept calling it gay? What?
Wrong intro.
Ah, here we go. This is fitting. This isn't like Sears gay at all. Good job, comics. Thank you.
Tree people shall not speak.
Why do I invite you, Steven?
Because you love me. I bring flair.
I think you're confusing love with loathe again.
We haven't even go live, and there's already been 2 tree jokes. I don't care anymore. I just don't care.
Well, you know, you and tree jokes go hand in hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dying times here.
This is what happens when I get my videos unorganized.
I was
click on the
wondering.
wrong fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like that's the wrong thing, comics. I was like,
Yeah, I know.
what
It's
are you
like
doing?
this doesn't sound
We're
right. I was like, oh
professionals,
god, dude, it's
folks.
yelling at parked cars.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
stop
we
that.
are professionals. So
So yelling at parked cars is the masculine one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
this is the goofball one. That's the reason why I'm here. So you know.
Yeah, well, Steven, this is the one where we can say, things that go hand in hand. Well, at least in Steven's hand, it would be sap and
Yeah, didn't I see you in Men in Tights? Shouldn't you be wearing some pantyhose and a feathered cap? There, man.
Please note, as far as I'm aware, I'm the only gay one on this stream, despite what the commentary thus far might have led you to believe.
Well, you know,
Well,
if
you're at a
Matt
sausage
does
party,
come
so
on,
welcome.
well, if Matt comes on, you're going to be the second gay guy. So you know.
he flames.
I got here first. How the fuck did you know?
Mad flames in a different way.
Yeah, literally on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he steps on dicks, you know.
Actually, everyone gets quiet when I take a sip of water.
Yeah, that's because
like,
we want to emphasize that you're
yeah.
off camera.
I'm not sipping water, kids. Notice the glass.
Yeah, it's kind of red.
Drunk casino.
What is behind that curtain?
9 inches,
Alcohol.
apparently.
Lots of alcohol.
Wow, Steven, you're not going to let that go.
Oh, I'm never.
Oh,
let
no,
that
he's
go. That was
not.
a great stream. It was a great stream. You were in rare form, sir. Everyone should know.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. And I was talking about cutting the length off my hair. You were talking about something else.
Sure.
The length of him.
That sounds like an inside joke that a lot of us aren't privy to.
Oh man, no, it was okay. So sometimes when I know that I don't have to get up in the morning, I show up on people's streams.
And you in the chat, you have to catch them. You've got seek out culture late at night. If he's on late at night, rare form. He curses, talks about things that he doesn't talk about.
That's
Great.
true.
Says things like he has 9 inches. Good information.
Oh, you mean like me when I play Fortnite with Mark and them, and I just curse a blue streak? Like
You admitted
It's just-
you admitted to playing Fortnite. That is the most embarrassing part of that sentence.
oh wait, no. I've had more embarrassing things. Like so, like
But Jed, we expect it from you. Culture's like the
Yeah, I
daddy of
know.
the community.
I know everybody expects all the bad.
Why
fucked up
the
shit
fuck am
from
I the
me.
daddy of the community? I mean, this is obviously started by you, Steven.
I didn't do anything. Dix Division, the Dix Division did that, not me.
That was
Those are your
that,
people.
Yeah.
that was obviously all my people, but
no, Steven is the one calling me daddy, and it's okay. I can be Father Casino. That's fine.
But
Yeah, everybody
wait.
wanted to say a really bad.
I
joke
I wait
right
for a
then, and
gay
nobody
tree
did.
joke
I'm
with
proud.
culture. So
Oh, I'm happy tonight. We have terribleness to talk about.
well, we have
I
a lot
know,
of
right?
terribleness to talk about. But speaking of terribleness, we'll start with Toxic Man Flu Super Chat. For $5, Jed's wing is so small, Walton leaves all
oh
pointing
wow.
bonsai trees for him to defile.
That's messed up, bro. That's messed up, bro.
Twofer. That is a twofer.
That was a nice one, Tox.
Yeah.
Woo, Talk's rolling it up tonight.
You know,
Yeah.
I was having a debate about Vienna sausages because I love those little salty wieners, and my girlfriend put a poll out there, and it won. It's winning right now. More people love those little salty wieners than hate them, so I win.
If you say so, buddy.
That's
the
right.
phrasing
Proud of
condensate is too much.
Shall we get you and Matt a room together? So I'm just
Salty.
He's the bottom. I know. That's it.
So we'll start off our speaking of awful. Let's take a look at the awfully funny downvotes. By the way, folks, if you'd like to restore your downvotes, you can get a plugin that will go and do that because there is an API that still exposes the number of dislikes for now, at least. Yeah,
and
until 98,000 downvotes to 2.8.
Yes,
it's almost
ratioed as fuck.
See it. We can still see it, and the thing is, this is so cool. So now, we're as YouTube personalities, I'm going to say those terms together. That's weird. We can still share with our audience exactly how bad things are. You can still, your dislikes still can count. We can still show how bad this all is.
Especially when you have something like this. I'm actually surprised that they are not showing the dislikes on the video analytics stuff. But
it's kind of weird, right? Because you'd think TubeBuddy and what's the other one that people use?
Yeah, I have TubeBuddy. This is TubeBuddy.
Yeah, they have
the funny thing is, things got so bad for this.
They turned off the comments.
No. YouTube intervened and turned off the
look
comments.
at that shit right there. It's just
just to be clear, I'm the one who sent this to comics. And when I did,
I've already saw the video before you sent it to me. So.
I literally, when I sent it though, specified I'm calling it. I was like pointing at my watch like a doctor and being like, I'm calling it. This is the worst thing. That was all I said. Was this is the worst thing, and given the caliber of cringe that I regularly consume, that is saying quite a bit.
Well, we still got a month to go, so we could get worse stuff. So
wow.
I'm just saying we got a month to go.
Thanks for looking on the bright side, Jed.
Why give them ideas? Why, Jed? Why?
Well, here's the thing. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
It has to. It's almost like they hit. I'm glad we got to see the dislikes here. It's almost like the general public doesn't like this type of far left humor. Imagine that.
No, they don't
anti-American,
like anti-American, anti one race or another.
And the Holocaust jokes and all that stuff that's in here.
Well, never mind all that stuff. It's just bad art. Just full stop. Politics or no politics. It's just bad art. And therefore,
fucking dialogue is atrocious too. Talk to me for $2. I double team with Jed and Walton. I feel manly.
I'm not in the middle class. I'm not the Pierre in that Lucky. All right.
Eric for $5. Jed's wang is so small. He was seen in the quantum realm.
Oh my!
Damn.
Eric K.
Damn, Eric came in with a smacker right there, man.
Walton, how do you end up in these weird Eiffel Towers in the middle of them? I'm
not in the middle. That's what I'm saying. I'm the man.
No, he's probably in the middle. He's probably in the middle.
No, never.
He probably.
All right, so Mark.
Enough stalling. Let's look into the new sport madness, folks.
Mark's 47 is saying API will supposedly be redone as of the 13th, so the dislike plugin won't work as is after then.
Damn.
Yeah.
We will still look. It's got to be there somewhere. It'll still be revealed.
That is basic bitch YouTube. Basic.
Yeah, because YouTube doesn't change their code that often. You can just go in there and just yank it out if you need to. So
we have enough nerds in this community that can get the job done.
Yeah, we can.
Well,
we got
only if they expose that data publicly can we get access to it.
Yeah.
That's the issue. And technically, the nerds already got it done, but. They're gonna
arms be weaponized onto the missiles, everyone. 4chan, don't let me down.
Yeah, dude, I'm not kidding. Here's the thing. Okay, if they want, this is the problem. If they want that to work in their analytic formula, it can still be revealed. It can still be revealed. People just have to find it. It's okay. We'll just wait. Somebody will figure it out, and then we're back to pointing out the ridiculousness of it all.
Well, it's funny because these platforms are just shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, we had the Twitter update, to their on their terms of service with their privacy policy. It's like, dude, you know who that's designed to protect.
And their stock tanked like that day. Kabang. I mean, and it wasn't because they got rid of Dorsey. It was because the new
It's because the
CEOs.
replacement for
Person in
Dorsey was a
charge.
The new replacement will be kind, so.
You know, if you for years
No
and
mean
years
tweets.
we've been seeing them just protecting the echo chamber on all various platforms, from Rotten Tomatoes all the way to to social media. They just keep reinforcing it, and every time we find a way to exercise our voice or opinion, they're gonna try and clamp down further on it. And I'm wondering when it's going to collapse these social media giants and like really elevate the smaller ones that are trying to break through that really have an investment in free speech.
Look,
2022. That's where I'm putting the possible prediction, because the thing is, the political establishment of every organization is so dilapidated at this point that all it's going to take is a feather to knock the whole thing over, and we've got quite a bit more than a feather coming their way shortly.
Well, the fun. Okay, so this is a great comment, because this is something I was thinking about too. Colt Seaman says for $5. Funny enough, Mel Gibson is doing a sequel to Santa Inc. for HBO Max called Hanukkah Inc. You know that if somebody did this panning Hanukkah, they would get called anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah,
and if they did it for Ramadan, they'd all be dead.
Yeah, but you wear a shield, right? There's a shield now. I could wear this shield and make that funny, right? I mean, we could actually write jokes that were funny. We could like tell a story that was wholesome and still have our fun. It could be done. But
how do you inject politics into that?
You don't have. That's the problem, dude. You don't have to put politics and stuff.
Oh,
yeah. Art as an end in itself, rather than a means to an end.
Yeah.
Who remembers that old chestnut?
Well,
here's the thing. I mean, I don't care if two Jewish people make a Christmas movie, right? But this isn't about celebrating Christmas or having fun. This is about, again, everything that we've been seeing. It's about woke ideology having to make its way into everything. It's, did you guys see some of like the anti-Thanksgiving stuff that was going around? I wish I had time to make a video about it, but it was it was funny. They found a way of tying it into BLM. Like,
yeah, they did. I saw some of that shit. It was like Halloween all over again, when they had that girl kill the kid, and it was fine.
Never mind that it was Abraham goddamn Lincoln specifically to give a middle finger to the South that created or universalized Thanksgiving as a national holiday to begin with. You ignorant fucks.
We were covering that the Christmas movie on Sporking News podcast, The Dump, the other day, and it is definitely it's made for adults, but irresponsible parents who co-signed to this ideology, like they're going to let their kids watch it. They won't care, and so to a degree, it is aimed at children.
Well, but you're not wrong. And this is the other problem is when you see animation, parents don't pay a whole lot of attention. So there'll be a lot of people that will watch that normally wouldn't. And by the way, it's a TV show. It's not a movie.
Yeah, it's not a movie.
My bad.
Anyway, shall we actually react to the thing itself then?
What's that?
Probably get claimed. It's Warner.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I say we dress culture up in a Santa costume.
Okay.
No, but the one thing I do want to share,
I've been Santa Claus before,
is Seth Rogen's tweet about it. This is funny.
No.
It says we really pissed off tens of thousands of white supremacists with our new show Santa Inc., which is now available on HBO Max. Please read the responses to this tweet for confirmation.
Your excuses don't work anymore. Your deflections don't work no more, Seth.
Yeah.
You and every one of you.
I replied. I quote tweeted this saying, Seth Rogen is a white supremacist, because why not? It's fair game.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Seth. If we actually kept to what those terms actually mean instead of refinagling the definition every 5 goddamn seconds, there aren't 10,000 white supremacists in existence, let alone to be triggered by your particular thing.
Here's my response to him. Clearly, you are a thin-skinned hack whose talent has run dry.
Wow, well done.
Wow, that was good.
In other news, water wet.
Perfect too.
But Script Doctor made a great point just a little while ago. He said if you move 2 letters around, it becomes satanic.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true.
What now?
Yeah.
That's like,
What now?
Yeah. I'm not going that far.
Oh, duh.
We all
The
know.
title.
Probably wouldn't.
Yeah, the
I
title.
just got it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't put it past him
No.
either.
Oh, look, okay, that was a little bit of wordplay.
They're not that smart.
Yeah, we couldn't possibly. We
We're
couldn't
too many
possibly think-
geeks here. We're
that-
just looking at shit.
Yeah.
Never attribute to malice what can adequately be explained by incompetence.
I
And
agree. I mean, I'm sure that's probably what it is, but
If
still.
there's a world record for demonstrated incompetence greater than this, I can't find it.
I'm actually having to approve some comments. That's weird.
Oh, what,
Wait,
our
really?
comments? Yeah.
No, just some of this stuff here. It's just weird.
When comics roasted the professional comedian. like
Yeah,
just
but
say-
Tell me I'm
When
wrong,
was the
though.
last time he was a professional comedian? I mean,
about
seriously.
maybe 15, 20 years ago. So
Yeah, comedians have to have this thing called self-awareness and the ability to defy authority. And
and
most
they
of-
also got to have humor too. So he
most
lost
of
that a long time ago.
that usually flows from
Well,
one
sadly,
of those
he's
other two
attached
things.
to a lot of productions that deal with geek culture, like Preacher. And I remember
Mhm.
they did the Preacher after show, like they did with Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I remember they I think it was like the first episode when they're talking about the chick. I don't remember her name. I'm totally blanking. I was never a big Preacher fan, but she was a blonde chick. And
Yeah.
in the interview, he goes, "Well, she was a cracker." So and it's just like, dude, it's like that's the reason why they went with the biracial actress. And yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, it was.
Does anyone ever feel like telling these people that the word cracker comes from an Irish word which basically means jokester or slave? Because that's
No.
where the word cracker
well,
comes from. It comes
they
from
say it like like it fucking means anything, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is-
The standard lie is that it comes from crack of the whip, which is just stupid. The word cracker, if anyone doesn't know, comes from the Gaelic word crack, C-R-A-I-C, which means jokester or good time. And it was a word used for Irish indentured servants and slaves that came over here during transportation. So anytime someone uses the word cracker on you, just throw that little factoid in their face.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking hilarious.
I always thought it was something that I put in my chicken noodle soup.
I always call myself a cracker, so I don't care.
I'm a
Yeah.
saltine cracker. So
I don't
Yeah.
fucking care
Salty.
if somebody calls me a cracker.
Yeah.
Never bothered me.
Yeah.
This is why we need you,
Don't
authenticator.
care if they call me a honky. It's like whatever.
Play basketball one time. Okay, just go to the
Yeah, I did once. I busted. I twisted my ankle. Never did it again. So
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
What you were trying to run between people's legs?
no, I just didn't know how to play. What? Oh,
Dude, he fucking drops that shit and runs.
I know. He's like, he's out. Like, really? Look at that
Out
like,
here.
you bastard!
I had to
He's
wipe
like,
my
I'm gonna
nose.
go get some tree loving.
I having bad allergies right now.
No,
I'm not
God,
good.
tell me about it, dude.
Yeah, me too.
I
it's
know,
been rough.
right?
How did I get a cold in Florida? I came to Florida, got a cold. It's supposed to be hot down here. You're not supposed to get a cold. I got a cold.
Wait, it was like 84 here today, where I was at.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I don't know
the
how that
2nd of December. 2nd of December, 84.
happened. Were you in the desert?
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah, I think he's in the desert.
Where I'm gonna be tomorrow, it's gonna be like 30.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun.
Yeah.
30, I don't mind 30. It's when it starts getting worse than that. Is when
I don't like putting on pants. I
Oh,
like to live in
Jesus.
the
We know.
Oh my
We know,
God.
Buster, we know.
First world problems.
Phrasing
Foster.
for their
Wait,
worst
wait.
phrasing.
God
Do
forbid
we
you
need-
have to wear pants.
He's not wearing pants
Well,
right now.
No, I wear shorts.
I have a shirt and just boxers
Wear
on right
shorts
now.
too,
So,
but
you
shit,
know,
dude, I don't mind wearing pants. God damn.
that's the
Pants
reason
are
why I'm never
dumb.
on cam. You know.
Pants are dumb. Okay, pants are dumb.
if you say so. Stone Cold Jeremy, 5 American pesos. Hail comics and great panel. Hail to the wonderful people of the chat. Hope everyone is having a great week. Cheers.
Hail, brother.
Hail,
I
brother,
mean,
Stone Cold Jimmy.
besides
Stone
the
Cold
fact I just haven't been getting enough sleep this week, life's been pretty good. I'm just tired, and
Yeah.
of course, just the whole thing, that happened with JJ, which obviously
Yeah.
sucks.
That was that dude.
very
that was,
devastating.
it was that I can't even believe how much that hurt for
Yeah.
as long. And it's like every day. And Keely Chow, every place he shows up says R.I.P. JJ.
Yeah.
and
It derailed a lot. It hurt a lot of
Yeah.
people. Derailed a lot of people.
But I mean, on that, I mean, like things for me personally in my life have been good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, aside from the not sleeping thing, because we were talking backstage, I don't think any of us are getting sleep.
Oh hell no,
all of
I
us are
haven't.
No.
on the wrong side
Okay.
of the insomnia.
Did you see me like on Thanksgiving and the night before and the night before? Well, I'm just putting out these random ass tweets. One minute it'll be tits and ass, and the next minute it's like, hey, telling everybody to love one another or some other bullshit, and then it's tits and ass again. I'm just doing random ass shit. Yeah.
Man, that's a hell of a life, Jed. Awesome. Dude.
Yeah, I can't sleep, man, at night. So like,
But hopefully everybody out there in the chat who's watching is also having a good week too. So
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys are. Yeah,
so.
that's a good thing. Hey, Mad's next door.
I'll get to a super chat in a second.
All right.
And Nikki D for $5. Do you guys think the slippage in views for Hawkeye is just a blip or a trend? Will the MCU see a resurgence in the box office returns next year? No.
No,
The only thing that seems to be tracking is the next Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's
And it's funny because Nick Weiser pinged me. He's like, dude, you should get your ticket now before theaters sell out. And I actually went and I bought my ticket for my theater, and there was already like 20 tickets sold. And this is like the day that it launched. And I'm like, holy shit. Normally, like I buy it like a couple days and maybe there's like 6 seats sold. Oh, this is like way different.
And with how closely tied together they are, I
money.
imagine Spider-Man being a big thing is also good news for Doctor Strange 2.
no.
Granted,
No.
given the plot leaks for Doctor
No.
Strange 2, someone just shoot me now. But assuming they don't completely and utterly shit the bed,
oh, it's
I
gonna
think
be
it probably depends on the subject matter from now
If the
on.
movie is good, obviously it'll print money. I think Gary's right when he says it's going to break $1 billion now, based off of the pre-sales that I've been seeing. But yeah, if the movie is
950.
garbage, then I don't see a recovery. I don't see recovery with the MCU at all because everything that has been put out, I think people have been disinterested in, and it's the same thing with Hawkeye. Even like the roundtable of guys I do on Sunday, most of the time they're very like, "Hey, this is great," and then even Danny was like, "Yeah, this show's mediocre."
Well, it's not even. It's not.
Everybody
It's
was
not
like,
even
"This show's
that.
pretty
It's not
mediocre."
even that people are losing interest. It's that they start out interesting or interested, and then the plot line or the storyline fucks it up.
Yeah.
Like WandaVision, great up until the last episode, and that retroactively ruined all but one of the episodes.
I think it shit the bed on episode 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
it's
actually,
shit the bed,
it was going downhill by episode 4. Again, I don't even want to get into that, but what I'm going to say is this: Hawkeye drew less eyeballs than WandaVision, than Falcap, and Loki. Loki was the biggest show they had for obvious reasons, and Hawkeye shit the bed. It is not good. It is not good.
Well, they just didn't.
It's not interesting.
Well,
They just didn't give anything to work with Hawkeye
But
because
everybody knew what it was going to be, Dalton. It's the same thing with okay, so Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is so bad. It was so poorly received, right? That
they had to reshoot the entire thing basically.
Almost, yeah.
Are you serious?
6 weeks worth of reshoots were
Wow.
not
Yeah, there
pickups,
was
right?
there
Not
was a
pickups.
plot. There was a plot leak for what Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to be from someone who had previously been correct in leaks, and literally the week after those leaks came out, that basically, and I'm going to say this, and I am one of the world's biggest Doctor Strange fans. No joke. He is my favorite Marvel character, full stop. And his mythos is my favorite mythos within the Marvel Universe, full stop. But here's the thing. There is not a whiff of Doctor Strange in Doctor Strange 2. And I know I've said this a dozen times, but I'm going to keep saying it because it makes sense and nobody fucking seems to listen when I say it. But you would think, you as an impartial observer would think, with a title like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, they would be going in a John Carpenter or H.P. Lovecraft direction. You would further be confirmed in this belief by the fact that they got Sam Raimi, the guy who gave us The Evil Dead and Darkman franchises.
Right.
You would further think they were going in this direction thanks to a writer for Rick and Morty. And you would be further confirmed in thinking this because they got the composer who is most famous for doing Tim Burton movies. However, instead of tapping into the Lovecraftian, supernatural, or gothic aspects of the Marvel Universe, you know, Shimmagorath, Dweller in Darkness, Cthulhu, Werewolf by Night, any of that. Instead of any of that, they're focusing far too much on the multiverse aspects and making it a glorified America Chavez origin movie.
Mm.
And for some godforsaken freaking reason, they're not even focusing on the magical characters in Doctor Strange 2. The main fight in the movie, according to the leaks, is a fight between Wanda and Charles Xavier. Why the hell Doctor Strange himself doesn't get a role in the biggest action scene in his own sequel movie? I don't fucking know.
Because they're
especially
more
when you
focused-
consider all those elements I just listed that are screaming.
So that's how they're
Make it-
backdooring in the
the new
X-Men?
characters. Oh, I'm sorry.
And
No,
and
he
the
did say Charles Xavier, right?
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor
And
X.
the-
Yeah.
and the entire time, the entire plot, according to the leaks that I saw, and bear in mind they did reshoot the entire thing, so hopefully they learned their lesson. But I don't know. At least as far as the leaks I saw, the main purpose of Doctor Strange and Wong and all the other mystical characters throughout this movie is going to be shepherding America Chavez from multiverse to multiverse, protecting her, because apparently she has a super special multiverse transversing ability that Wanda needs to get her kids back. What does this have to do with anything resembling the Lovecraftian aspects of the Marvel Universe or the supernatural aspects of the Marvel Universe? Fucking nothing.
And that's because they're more focused on the character, the woke characters that were created in the last 10 years, you know, the ones that didn't sell books, than they are the good lord that people loved for decades.
Okay,
I mean,
but you could do that same thing with Brother Voodoo or Rintra
could,
or Topaz or
but
there's 5 or 6 or Wiccan. You could do that same thing and still keep it within the context of the mystical side of the Marvel Universe, given that this is a fucking Doctor Strange movie ostensibly and has a title that evokes, you know, Lovecraft and John Carpenter and, you know, Sam Raimi and all the rest. I laid out the parameters earlier for you all. So you tell me, if I sent you a paper that had all those aspects on it, all those, you know, those people in those categories, you can't tell me you wouldn't be thinking, okay, so this is going to be Marvel's equivalent of Ghostbusters, because that's what anyone with a fucking brain and any understanding of the comics was thinking. They're going to do a Labyrinth, or they're going to do a dark, you know, this generation's Dark Crystal. Go with the supernatural aspects. Go with the Lovecraftian aspects.
Well, yeah,
But
and
instead,
it seems like
it's a glorified multiverse clip show.
a lot of the previous characters of the previous phases of the MCU are now just going to be vehicles to introduce replacements.
yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah,
they are.
And I never
Yeah.
thought I would see the day when I would be begging for them to, if they're going to replace Doctor Strange, at least use Brother Voodoo instead of anyone else. But
Yeah.
here we are. When World War Hulk came out, I hated Brother Voodoo's guts because they should never replace Doctor Strange with him. But here we are in a world where Brother Voodoo is the tasteful and reasonable option. I hate this.
Yep. Toxic
hate this
Man
so
Food
much.
for $5. If you move a few letters around, Culture Casino becomes Dorothy Hamill.
Strangely enough, they have the same haircut.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Huh?
I love all of you mostly.
Toxic Man Flu for $2. I prefer mayonnaise monkey to cracker. Mayonnaise monkey just sounds gross.
Mayonnaise monkey. Hey, mayonnaise monkey.
Mayonnaise, that's real white people stuff right there.
Sounds really, really gross. Okay, so here's Mad's comment. It took us a while to get here. Mad the Magnificent for $5. I am next door. Well, at your neighbor's window watching the game. But this
Dude.
big head is blocking the screen. What an ass. I'll be there soon.
Dude, he's gonna
All right,
jerk
dude.
off to the back of your head, comics. Like there's some shit like
Are you naked at the
I'm
window?
not sure how that's gonna work, considering the fact that I face the window. My window is right there. Hey, what's up, George?
Hey, how you doing, my friends?
George is here.
Hey,
Wait,
George.
Hey,
Wait,
Jen.
wait, wait for the song.
He's got a beautiful soul. How you doing, Culture? Thank you. Always a pleasure.
George!
Dad,
doing good, dude.
Walton?
Hey, man, welcome to the Nut House.
Oh, it's always a good nut house.
Yeah.
How you doing, Authenticated?
I am doing all right. How are you?
Good, good. Just had finished watching earlier today the Satan Inc.
Oh, yeah!
Satanic.
Right. That was Moloch.
Did you see the first episode?
Yeah, well, first episode I saw like all of them. Jeez.
Oh my god, how bad is it?
How bad? Let's say I feel like somebody sacrificed at least 5 or 6 people at Bohemian Grove in order to get the inspiration and the money to push this garbage. Now, come on.
I agree with George in that one.
Come on, you
Even
don't
hell
have-
has
you
more
don't have
self-respect
stripper
than
poles.
that.
You don't have stripper poles in the fucking North Pole. That means I have never. It took me a while to calm down from it because the fact that you can tell exactly what they're doing. What they're doing is they're trying to. Well, there's 2 things. One, they're trying to obviously, which is the trite. They're trying to destroy another cultural institution. But I think it's a little bit more subtle than that. They're trying to push people more towards to be accepting of what I would call alternative network television. So they can go, this is horrible. Let's go check out what's on ABC, NBC, CBS. And another note, I say let them keep doing it because the more they do it, more independent creators are coming, more independent people write comics, more make TV shows.
Well, it's definitely, I think, the reason why I want them to do is obviously it's going to push more red pills. And welcome, Lady Gravemaster.
No, hey Lady Great.
Hey, Lady G.
Hi. Look who's the power bottom. That's right. I'm holding all of you up. There was nothing before me. Just like everything, there was nothing before me. Now it matters. No, I'm just kidding. Hey guys.
Hey.
We elevate our sacred feminine on this show.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, well, I did my nostalgia stream and then I was just on Queen's Council and then I was like, okay, I've got to go take care of like these 3 things and it's going to take me like an hour. And then it took like 10 minutes and I was like, whoa, I either seriously underestimated what those chores were going to take or what I'm capable of. So, and then I was like, I guess I'll
That's
watch
always nice. That's a nice kind of underestimation when things actually get easier for you.
Yes, 100,000%.
There's nothing like, oh, this is going to take 5 minutes. 5 hours later.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
God
I was
damn
really
it.
like,
What was I
Several
thinking?
weeks later.
That's always like going to the grocery store. You know, I have yet to walk in where I go, I have 3 things I want to buy and fucking walk out with 3 things. I always walk out with 30.
Yeah.
You know,
Right?
They do that on purpose, George.
Yeah, it's,
I
it's
know.
the psychology of the
It's
shopping
psychology.
market.
I think I got it down to 10 once, and I was like, yes, I won, you bastards.
victory is mine.
I'm usually
Thank
pretty
you.
good about not doing that because typically when I go in, I'll go in for stuff I need. I'll more often than not leave forgetting to pick up stuff that I intended to pick up. Yeah.
That's why I
So
take
tell-
lists.
Yeah, I don't do
I've
that. It's
done-
pretty funny. There's always like one thing I'll forget. And it's typically the thing my wife like asked me to get and really needs. It's like, I walk in, she's like, you forgot the thing, didn't you? I'm like, oh god damn it.
I do that. I've taken lists. They don't work for me anymore because
That's when you
again,
take
I
a
always-
line. You got to take a line out of my dad's book, because he does that to my mom all the time, and she'd be like, "Did you get the thing?" And he's like, "They were out. They were
Did you
out
get the
of
thing?
all the laundry detergents everywhere." And he's like, "Yep."
Yes.
And
It's
here's
because
the
of the
thing.
shortages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're blaming on
Exactly.
Omicron. I'll say it in Greek. Omicron. Oh.
Yeah. No, like when COVID, when all of that stuff hit, and he was like, "Yeah, no, they were completely out of this. They're complete." And like my mom would be like, "Yeah, that makes sense that they probably are." Now my dad just forgot. Like,
Yep.
Well, right now, I think I could build a house with toilet paper, so I think I'm good for a while
Yeah.
because there was a
Wait.
stocking up that happened.
Yeah, I do that Greek thing. I always have
stocking
like 2
incident.
pantries full of all that kind of stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
cockroaches will be around and toilet paper.
Yeah,
That's I mean, yeah, having a well-stocked pantry is a good thing to do, especially in this day and age.
I've got 3. I've got 3 8-foot tall pantries that are
There
good.
you go.
Yeah,
So what did y'all think? What did y'all think? Come on, did anybody watch it besides me?
No, I didn't. I didn't
No.
realize it was even out.
Okay.
I thought it was just the trailer
George?
for it.
Yeah.
George, I watched 5 minutes of it and turned it off.
See, I'm
So
gonna
I was-
review it.
You know,
And the
I
thing
can't
is,
wait to see that, George.
I realized within a few seconds, that's when I believe, I started to believe my some family members of mine, they're always talking about, past lives. And I said, I never believed any of that. I said, maybe there's some truth because I feel like I really was evil in a former life to be able to watch this shit. And it wasn't even like some reviewers are trying to say, whoa, what's the big deal? It's like South Park or, what's that little donkey that they had a long time ago? The nerd.
Donkey?
You remember that?
On South Park?
Not on South Park. It was a
Shrek?
Not
Ed?
Shrek.
No.
No. It was like on Adult Swim, and it went around for a while.
I know who you're talking about. He's got like he's anthropomorphic. He walks onto that one.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name, but I know who you're talking about now.
Are you talking about BoJack Horseman?
BoJack?
Yes,
Yeah, BoJack.
Oh,
Yeah, that wasn't Adult Swim. That was
on Comedy Central.
Comedy Central.
Comedy
Yeah.
Central. I don't know why I think of Adult Swim. Maybe it's because I was watching that Blade Runner. I think it is Black Lotus. Anyway, so when you see it, it's purposeful. It's not even. Some of the jokes are just bad. They don't like. They're Jewish, right? So half my family is Jewish. So the first thing that I asked them when I called them this morning, I'm like, what would you say if someone turned around and said, hey, kids don't believe in the vaccine, nor do they believe in the Holocaust? They're like, well, what anti-Semite said that? I'm like, 2 Jewish people. And I was like, they did more damage. I called up the rabbi actually about this, and I said, do you not think that there are some people who could actually do more damage as Jewish people to Jews, where people would actually become more anti-Semitic by having a Jewish writer and a Jewish comedian come together to make a show about Christmas in which they totally annihilate? Because what are people going to say? They're going to say, well, of course, it's the 2 Jewish people doing it purposely to destroy Christmas.
This reminds me.
Well, I don't think it's because
me
it's
of that one
Jewish people.
episode
It's
of.
because they're woke. But...
No, it is, but I'm saying, how would people view it?
Yeah, true.
This reminds me though of that one Seinfeld episode with the dentist who converts to Judaism just for the jokes, and the father confessor asked Jerry, "And this offends you as a Jewish person?" And Jerry just goes, "No, it offends me as a comedian."
George, was there any redeeming message in that film? Any?
I mean, even the boobs weren't good because it's claymation, so you don't even get that.
Yeah.
What are we
Right.
talking about? I lost something.
Santa Inc.
Satan.
Satan Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
or satanic.
Satan. It just wasn't. You know what it
Seth
felt
Rogen
like?
hasn't been funny in a long
Right.
time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's sold out.
Sausage
That-
Party was okay, but it should have been released about a decade ago.
I felt like he took Pineapple Express and Animal House and threw a Christmas tree in and Santa. But he did it towards kids. That's the thing. They say it's not for kids, but you don't make claymation really for adults. You make it for college kids and younger.
I agree, George. I think it is.
I
think
don't
it
know.
is.
I mean, I kind of disagree with that because it's like you said the same thing about anime because there's some very adult anime. It's like you don't make animation for adults, you make it for kids.
With the context of the message that's being presented
Right.
in this, like I said earlier, there are going to be parents that are just going to go, "Oh, I agree with all this. Oh, I'll just let my kids watch it." And I think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it's not that. You have
they could be insidiously trying to do that. I don't know. I
I
wouldn't put
think-
it like I said. I wouldn't put it past them.
See, my problem is
because people for some reason don't understand the notion of if you try to force a message on children, they will usually recalibrate by opposing it the exact opposite. Like if you insist on a child, you will never be a smoker. I'll kill you if you're ever a smoker. You will never be a smoker. That is exactly how you raise a smoker in their teens.
Yeah,
I beg to differ.
5 picoseconds is right. So I think it's made for edgy college kids.
I said
That's
20-year-olds
probably
and kids. See, I think they went for the college kids hoping to grab. I still think they want to grab kids because you have it. I was watching it and it's been showing the trailer on HBO, right? And HBO Max. So you have mom and dad are watching a show. You have the kids walking. What's that? It's not like it's.
I think I can zero this in on for you even better because this is who this is for. This is for the journalist class.
That's what I was thinking too.
The middle-aged journalist class who have children and who, as a political statement, they're
All
will
right,
show
I'll
this
get
to
back
their
to that
children
super chat in a second, but there's
for
something I
the
want to share.
ideological wool.
And this is kind of on point with what we're talking about. So this is from Kevin Smith earlier today.
Oh,
And
Oh,
where
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, thank you to the New York Times for calling Master Eater's Revelations one of the best 50 TV shows." It's like, who the fuck did you make this for?
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't make this for the fans because the fans fucking hate it.
hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at Rotten Tomatoes,
yeah.
it's getting fucking bombed to hell. But it's like they're making it for the fucking journalist.
The valid
Bullshit
people.
is a currency in Hollywood.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Right,
need to
but who
say
was the
I went through
grinders?
a remake on this one. My first one I showed it to Culture. I
Right.
was pretty bad, but I had to go back and redo it for the second one. But yeah, Eh,
I
For
want to
what?
ask Lady G and sorry, I didn't. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, for what would you have to remake? Jed?
His video, I think he was saying.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
his video.
No,
Yeah.
a tweet he was putting together. Yeah.
I want to ask
Yeah,
Culture and Lady G what they think of it.
I had to reward it because I got really vicious. Okay, like
Gotcha.
so the
Oh,
second one,
Masters
the
of the
second one,
Universe.
No,
yeah, I got really
Santa
vicious.
Inc. Santa Inc.
I think that 8 Crazy Nights did it better. I think 8 Crazy Nights was what Santa Inc. wanted to be.
Mhm.
And how far have we fallen because that's the standard?
Right?
Yeah, I was.
I
it was
know,
funny, I was
right?
thinking about that too. Previously, we you weren't here yet, but we're talking about what if Mel Gibson, made a Hanukkah
Oh,
ink?
God.
How,
Oh,
how
yeah.
would people respond to that?
Like a lead brick could go over. Yeah.
Yeah, and how many people would be dead if they did a Ramadan ink?
Oh,
You think-
I don't know.
Oh,
They chased that guy
dude.
around.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
not a bad idea.
like even if we take out the false equivalency,
I wouldn't do
it's
it.
just not a good show. It's not funny.
Right.
It's not endearing. There's when there's no point to your story,
Mhm.
people feel cheated. So they've wasted their time, they've wasted their money, which with inflation now, your money goes even less further than it did before, which means you're going to be pickier about how you spend it. Your time, because your money goes less far, you're now probably going to be having to put more time into whatever it is that you do for a job, or you might have to get a second job, which means you now have less free time. So now you've wasted your free time on this piece of crap.
Well,
And you feel cheated. There's no point to this movie. There's no the resolution is a joke. There's no morality. There's no point to the story. It's like
It's Dadaist, basically.
Let's be honest.
Deliberate anti-art.
This is exactly the response. This is exactly what Seth Rogen wanted.
Yeah.
Is this response right here?
Yeah, and you label everybody with the common deflection that's just played out at this point.
And
Yeah.
so,
I
like,
watched
I
just
say
the-
this. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I say this all the time that you should not go out purposefully seeking the disapproval of others,
Right.
but don't let it stop you either. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it's true. Whatever it is you create, whether it is a comic, a short story, a novella, a novel, a TV show, a film, music, whatever it may be, a painting, it is not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
That
You're
is
gonna
true.
hate.
But so you're always going to have people who aren't fans or detractors or something like that. That is undeniable because there is nothing that there are people who think the Mona Lisa is, a joke, like it's not real,
Right.
it's terrible or whatever, right? So
Mhm.
those people will always exist. But when you go out purposefully, unless you're going out purposefully seeking disapproval from a majority of human beings, of humans, of people, of whatever fan base, then you are setting yourself up for, like, you already know what's coming and
Yeah.
you're trying to, like, use it for publicity or, spreading the agenda or spreading the message or whatever it may be. So that is what they are doing. This isn't even, they came into this disingenuously because this wasn't something they created in the hopes that a majority of people would love or that a certain sect of people would love. They made this to piss off more people. And yes, there are
That's the thing
comedians
that's so
who do that.
ridiculous about it. This
Yeah.
is the
It's
exact
just-
same shit that they were doing
well
with
said,
comics.
sister.
But
It's an ideological thing for them because they come from an artistic point of view in massive, Grand Canyon-sized air quotes there, where everything is arbitrary, everything is just done by consensus, everything is a harmful or restrictive illusion. So if we just change the standards, then people will fall in love with it anyway because the standards are irrelevant. That's the logic they actually operate under. Problem being, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And human nature is human nature regardless of whether they want it to be or not. So that's why they get so triggered when people actually come back and criticize them for that shit. Because in their perfect world, everything is supposed to be 100% subjective, no reasoning, no intellectual curiosity, no evolutionary psychology, none of that. It's all supposed to be just blank slate, tabula rasa. If we insist that enough people like this, then enough people will come to like this, and then it won't matter. That's what they want, but they're not going to get it because
it's funny.
As much as I enjoy John Locke, he was wrong when he proposed the principle of tabula rasa. Human nature is not a blank slate. We now know more about evolutionary psychology and social psychology than we ever have before, and we know that certain things appeal to us on a frankly mathematical level.
Right. All right. Let me get the super chats real quick again. So, from Glensner for $2, that multiverse is gonna need a multi-hearse.
Yes, sir.
You're not wrong.
I hope not, but I think you're right.
Yeah. Mr. Simple Drug, $4.99 with a poop emoji. Sorry, George, go ahead.
No. I think one of the lessons that they haven't learned, and you'd think they would after hitting their head against a brick wall, is just the old one that we probably all learned from our mothers or grandmothers, is that you get more bees with honey than vinegar. If they embrace certain things, or at least didn't attack them. Yeah, but if you actually looked at it strategically, you go, I want to change people's mind, right? I want to push my ideology.
It's not a strategy. Look, okay. First and foremost, I'm going to say two things. Number one, you were the bravest person I know to watch all 10 episodes of this thing.
If I knew it was out, I would start watching it so I could start shit-bombing it.
Thank you.
There's no way in the world I'm going to watch 1 minute of it after watching the
trailer,
whatever thing.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and I called Artistic Time of Death. I literally said to comics, I'm calling it. This is officially the worst thing.
Right.
And the second thing that I'm going to say,
to be fair, that's why.
Yeah, the second thing I'm going to say is they don't care about the proper strategic maneuver, right? Because their goal is to flood the marketplace with this trash for a decade, so that your kids and the grandkids they have a decade worth of complete shit that teaches them all the wrong things about themselves, about this country, and about their way of life. That is the goal. We need to accept that is their purpose.
Well, the funny thing about all this, I can understand why Marvel and DC are able to go and prop up the message.
Right.
But how is Netflix? I mean,
right, they're bleeding money too.
Are they bleeding? I want to know. Are they profitable?
They're operating at a loss, and they have been for a long time.
The last 2 quarters, I know definitely. Before that, I don't.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Right.
So Netflix
the companies that can do that are propped up. I'm trying to figure out how Netflix is able to pull it off.
Because they are propped up.
Shareholder value, and they're supported by major institutional investment.
So who's propping them up then?
Okay, so the whole reason
you already know the answer to that thing.
The whole reason that they did the Obama show, they got massive funding from multiple different
other places,
institutions.
Oh, so you're talking like Act Blue and the DNC.
I'm talking about all of the other ways that things are funded, which all goes into the ESG stuff that we've been trying to talk about for a while. But you have major institutional level investment stuff. One of the initials is BR. Okay, they $27 billion worth of assets managed.
And by BR, you mean BlackRock.
BlackRock. Yeah, I tried it. Yeah, I know, but it's not a popular thing to say.
Thunderbolt's not coming down to get you.
Fucking say it.
I don't know. Maybe
it's not coming.
But understand this, okay?
We'll have it live on video.
Here's some more business 101, right? Okay, here we go. Deloitte and Touche is telling you right now that at the end of next year, you will have the churn rate for these subscription services explode.
Right.
There is going to be 150 million subscribers for these streaming services that are going to turn tail and quit on them. So they have got to fight to keep what they've got. And if they don't, they have to somehow manufacture out of whole cloth new subscribers. In this country, subscriber services have already reached their apex, what we call maturity. They are not prepared to maintain that level of recycle in these companies. So you are going to see ARPU numbers continue to drop here in the United States, which means they will not ever reach profitability. Prior to the last 2 quarters, as you said, George, Netflix was right there.
Right.
We made a profit.
That's why I said the last 2 they've
We
been
made a profit. We made a profit.
Just barely,
But
actually, because it had been
Right, 'cause they
operating
own
at a
some of
loss
them.
significantly before that.
It took them a decade. It took them a decade to go from we're sending out discs and we started to stream to we were a streaming platform primarily, and now we're making money.
Right.
And they did that on the backs of shareholders, right? And it was hopes and dreams and pixie dust and everything else. It's the same thing happened with Disney. If you look at what's happening now, all of these companies, if you look at the trends, they're all trending bearish now, which we told you it was going to do.
Oh, yeah.
There needs to be major corrective action for Disney, for
It'll happen.
For all of these
It's gonna
entities.
happen soon. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I mean, when you look, again, all we have to do is step back, look at a bigger picture, and realize you're getting money from somewhere, and it is not from the content you're producing or from the subscribers that you have.
Right. But see, that's what I say. I agree with you 100%, Coach. Always.
Oh, I know.
Love your brain. The only thing I say, and I know that they're not following a strategy, but because obviously I talk to many people. So I have friends who are not ultra liberal anymore, but just because they won't talk to me ever since I voted for Trump. So I have friends who are on the left, who are liberal, who are classic liberals. And I would always tell them, I'm like, you really, because they would say, how come no one believes the media anymore? I'm like, you mean after 24 hours a day of screaming wolf and lying?
Yeah, because their entire worldview is shies, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just that.
Well, that's not a topic for tonight, though.
Right, no, but I was
we can
explaining
definitely get into that on Monday.
No, I'm going into the Santa Inc. where I was saying, is if they wanted to get their message across, there's actually a really smart way to do it, where you do it slowly and piecemeal. That would be dangerous, because then it would be subtle.
George, the thing is that they're not about subtlety. The people that are being funded to produce this material, they look at everyone as aggressive, as enemies. So they're attacking. That's why there's no subtlety. That's why creativity is put second to message.
Right.
They're attacking. They're on the attack all the time, because that's how they view anyone who.
But it
thinks
exposes them. You know that.
It's right. But George, here's the other thing. Here's the variable you're not examining in your calculations, dude.
Okay.
The reason they can't and will never actually make good stories that happen to have these messages in is because the core of their message, the absolute core of it, from the Frankfurt School and back, is meritocracy doesn't exist. No. So if they acquiesce to what we would call good content, they've already lost the argument. Because all of these incidental issues that they co-opt with it, your social issues, your political issues, that is the part that's the means to an end. What they're actually after, and you can read Frankfurt School manifestos that basically say this, is the notion that the things you've always considered good, that humanity has always considered good, has no intrinsic value, and that we can just arbitrarily and subjectively swap the values over to another projected thing. Because
Dalton, I want to cut you off because
their base premise is everything is authority by consensus. That is the base premise they're operating.
All right, Dalton,
change the authority
needs to bail out.
Yeah, I gotta go. Everything is great and all, and believe me, I'd love to stay. But I have a extremely early morning tomorrow and a drive. I have to get up north to my cabin to get an upgraded internet up there. So I'll be doing the show, my 6-minute daily live from up there tomorrow. So 4 a.m. comes early. I have a great time here, you guys. I love the conversations. We kind of need to revert away from the political stuff that we kind of dove into here at the last and get back to the entertainment entertainment. But beyond that, thank everybody for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys are absolutely the best. If you, like I said, if you're not subscribed to any of these amazing people, especially Lady Gravemaster, please do so. Lady Gravemaster and George give premium content on the regular. Dalton
Thank
does a
you,
great
brother.
job. Jed occasionally will do
you.
something that has like something that's good. I don't know. It happens once in a while.
Oh, we got a special super chat for him coming up.
And Steven is into trees. So if you like trees, then author Stephen Walton's your guy. I think that's why he's into
God, I
books.
hate
He likes
you.
to write books.
Does that mean he's into bushes?
Yeah,
Oh, he's
yeah.
in the bushes, branches, everything.
No, hardwood floors.
Oh wow, hardwoods.
On that note, and if you're not subscribed to comics and you somehow ended up here, subscribe to him because he's one of my best buds in the world. So you guys have a great night. I appreciate you all. If I missed anybody, plug in anybody, including Tom, who's out there in the chat, who should be in here.
Yeah.
Get
love
your
you
ass
guys.
in
Have a
here,
great
Tom.
See you soon.
Bye,
Tag
brother.
team.
Ah, damn it. It's
You
like
go.
he bailed before I got a chance to play him out, but here we go.
No ticket.
I love that.
Anyway, let's get back to super chats real quick before we continue on. Can't say words. Mr. Tickle Trunk for 4 Canadian pesos with a cup of coffee. God knows I could use one of those right now. Toxic Man Flu for $5. Division Ranch Charities number 6. Walton's Glory Hole Arboretum and Coffee Cafe.
I like that one. Thank you, Tox. That's a good one.
Wow, that
It was only a
Tox
matter
went
of time.
light. That was
Yeah, he
light
did.
for Tox. Yeah, he was being nice.
Yeah.
Tox likes me.
Eric K for $2. The 27th flavor of Nick Weiser, Walton's used coffee.
That's not bad.
that's gross.
I don't even like fresh
Wow.
coffee.
Little low from his ass. Jesus. All right, Mr. Tickle Drug for 2 Canadian pesos. We Canadians prefer maple ape or frostback.
Frostback is good. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Eric K for another $2. He says, George.
George is a
brother.
fan favorite.
Thank you.
Okay, and
course,
I'm
YouTube.
actually gonna get it right tonight. Valiant Renegade for $4.99.
Hell yeah.
If they F up Doctor Strange 2, I will burn Marvel movie posters on a live stream.
Wow.
I want to see that.
You and me
Get ready.
both. Yeah. We should get together and do it together because god damn it, I want the weird parts of the Marvel multiverse to be established and they need to do it soon because I'm really losing my goddamn patience.
All I have to say is cue up that bonfire, buddy, because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
I know,
yeah.
but I don't
So-
want it to. And between this and Netflix torturing my favorite DC comic, which is Sandman, I'm just like, can I get off this planet, please? Because they keep
Have you
ruining
looked at
things that I love
Amazon?
on purpose, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Amazon's not doing much. Like, if Wheel of Time is any indication,
Ugh.
Lord of the Rings is going to be the apex of
Oh, you know
bastardization.
that is
Oh,
going
yeah.
to be
At
a
least- at
Oh,
indicator.
yeah.
At least Amazon has a budget. It seems like that Netflix made Sandman on a shoestring because they didn't even bother to give Dream the right makeup.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that really sucks. I am so sorry about that. But that's what, like,
Yeah.
this shit is
Is
not
that
meant
even
to be,
out yet, or is that just
like-
from promo pics?
I don't know. I
It's
don't
not
know.
out. It's not
The
out. I
Sandman
don't know.
stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
It was in a teaser trailer that they
Wow.
showed.
Yeah.
They showed the actor who's supposed to be playing Dream, and the thing about Dream of the Endless is there are two visual markers for Dream of the Endless. Number one, black eyes with stars in them, and number two, skin that more closely resembles
Porcelain.
ivory, chalk,
Right,
or
but if you have a
marble
good story,
than it
that-
does skin.
Right, but if
And-
they have a good story, that's what we're all talking. I mean, yeah, that'd be great if they had it all, but at least, hopefully, it has a good story. Sometimes
I
Netflix
hope it won't screw up the story. But in all honesty, the only change that I want from Netflix in terms of the story of Sandman changes is fix the fucking ending. Dream does not need to die, and Daniel Hall is a useless piece of shit.
God, I wish it was that
I
simple. With
agree.
Like,
Let me get
Amazon
back
is
to a couple of
spending.
these real quick.
Okay, I'll wait.
Because I have, like I said, a special one for Jed coming up. Toxic Man Flu for $2. George has a beautiful soul, but a crap memory.
Oh,
Okay.
Tom.
I have no
Because you couldn't
idea.
remember.
No, it
donkey's
was
name.
because we were talking about in chat about how many. It doesn't matter how many like white supremacists are in the United States, and he was quoting one number, and I remembered a different number.
Yeah,
Like,
so
Less than a thousand?
that was
Three?
what he was referencing.
4.
Terrence asks for $5. The WHO discovered the Omicron variant when a rare dick pic of Jed leaked online.
You guys
Should
keep
be called
spelling
the Omicron dong variant. Hashtag,
Microdong. Oh, Microdong.
Microdong. There we go.
Everybody
see
keeps
Jed's dong.
misspelling it. There's not supposed to be an R in there.
yeah.
Tom,
Anyway.
you're Kevin Smith's #1 fan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is. We'll get to that. Eric K for $5. Kids during this time of year look for things with Santa, and some will end up watching this crap. Oh, dude, you're right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly why I was saying they've made
Yep.
it so it will hit kids. They're saying it's not for kids, but it is.
Yeah.
Dan Hans for $5. It's made for lib college students who are already known are being influenced by the far left. They continue to push them to their agenda brainwashing. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see.
Tom gonna go full force.
Tom,
Like,
what exactly happened between you and Kevin Smith that led to the great
don't know.
blockage?
He told the
between you two?
truth.
You can't do that.
really don't know. What's funny is I see
Forbidden.
it out- What was that? Authenticator? Dalton?
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tom, what happened?
Yeah, Tom.
Anyhow, I was.
yeah, Tom, go.
No, we lost him. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
All right.
Yeah, I saw it happen in real time, which is kind of funny.
So what exactly happened?
I don't know specifically. I have a few theories. But this afternoon I was editing our recent video and I was grabbing screenshots from Kevin Smith's Twitter, and then all of a sudden I'm blocked.
Wow.
What the fuck happened here?
He hasn't blocked me yet.
Did you guys make a video talking about?
Not yet. It came
Okay.
out after the fact, though.
He knew it was coming, Tom.
He
I'm
just like
shocked he hasn't blocked
Andre's
me
like,
yet.
I wish we had known sooner. I would have added it to the video.
That was worth it just to hear your impression of Andre.
Tom, your opinion made Kevin cry the wrong way.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
It was a
I
bad
wanted to-
touch rather than a good touch.
Yeah.
I wanted to make him cry tonight, but I was
He did
not.
cry.
Okay.
You know he cried. Did you see him with that stupid double mask thing?
Yes, dude.
That's why I sent him that. That's why I sent that picture, because he told him, like, that guy asked him. The story was some guy was running next to me and pulled up and was like, "Hey, you have two masks on," and he's like, "Well, Batman has two masks." Then he put, "This is what I."
Says Batman wears a mask.
And he's like, "This is what I say to unsolicited advice. It's unsolicited facts." I'm like, "Here's an unsolicited finger from Batman."
That was fucking funny, dude. That was
Did
absolutely
anybody
hilarious.
else find it really hilarious? Because it's that hiking picture of him where he's got two
Yeah.
masks on and he's outside and he's like, Batman wears a mask. And I sat and I was like, yeah, but literally the only part of his face that's uncovered is his mouth. And
I know, right?
It's
Yeah.
the wrong kind of mask.
And
Right.
he used it to hide his identity, not to prevent, which we already know is they don't necessarily work 100%.
Right.
So is Batman a super spreader? Like, is that what's being said?
I guess.
Yeah, I think it was saying Batman was being careful.
are
He was being
spoiling
like,
the next
Yeah,
Batman
I think he was
cartoon.
trying to insinuate that
he's Batman and being careful.
You guys
Oh,
are
he-
spoiling my
In
fucking
some
Batman
of the
cartoon.
stories where somebody shoots his the open part of his cowl, they show that he has a like fiberglass plate over his mouth that's actually bulletproof. It's just so well hidden that you don't notice it.
But where's
But
Bat Tom?
The thing that's so stupid. So he's like running around, right? Is that what he's doing? He's jogging or something?
Yeah, jogging. He was
Yeah.
jogging
It's like,
or walking. Or whatever.
Why are you wearing a mask while jogging?
2 masks. 2 masks.
Two masks.
That was
Because
the
he's
point.
fucking retarded, comics.
It's funny because I was watching Tim Pool and they actually brought this up because I think they were talking about people driving in cars wearing masks.
Yeah.
And he's like, his guest was like, yeah, I've done that, but I had COVID at the time. And so he's like, I left it on so I wouldn't forget to put it on. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Kind
But
of.
yeah. Well, I mean, I get the reason. The guy actually legit had COVID.
The mask is a sign of you submitting to our authority, and if you take it off, we will shoot you. Yeah.
The weirdest thing, like during the heart of COVID, like last year, maybe beginning of this year, whenever, was seeing people walking around outside by themselves.
Oh yeah,
wearing a mask.
Yeah,
that makes zero sense.
You really have to hand it to whoever the PR person was that came up with, like, because if you honestly think about it, the only reason that they were able to terrify so many people, and like God's honest truth, was that you could be a non-symptomatic spreader. Like you could have no symptoms and you can still spread it. And so many people bought into
I have met people who are non-symptomatic spreaders.
Yes, but not to the scale that
they were telling everyone.
It's the new secular version of original sin, like it always has been. Like, you know, back in the witch trials, you probably could have gotten somebody saying the same thing. It doesn't matter if you actually see them practicing anything out of the ordinary; they might still be tainted by the devil.
It's the Scarlet Letter. That's all. It's the negative.
That's all. Like the thing is, like, so I don't know how much you guys like follow like 7 Deadly Sins or whatever. But
before we go there, because I have to do this because this is YouTube. We're not doctors.
Yes.
Take the advice of an actual medical professional, not a YouTuber.
I'm a doctor. A doctor of love.
Armchair academics incoming. Yes. Now let's actually talk about the substance of the argument.
So like the thing is, so masks are. It started as like a hubris thing. And it moved into a vanity thing. Have you freaking what's her face charmed chick had had the knit
Rose McGowan?
The knitted
no, not Rose McGowan.
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano had the freaking
Phoebe.
knitted mask.
The
crocheted mask with all of the holes in it. And but like now you have all these different masks, and there's literally, I kid you not, I work on a college campus, so I 100% get to see this. There's mask status, like there's classes of mask.
Jesus.
So like if you have what the highest class is if you have one of those N95 masks and then you have a cloth mask over it that is like decorative or patterned or blitz, like matches your outfit. Like the big thing now is to have a cloth mask that matches your jacket or your sweater or whatever it might be.
So
the accoutrement of the aristocracy.
I have a question. So, Lady G, when you pass out, does that mean you're at the top?
Yep, apparently.
It's becoming a part of fashion then.
It is becoming a part of fashion. So
these have always been aristocrats. Let's not be kidding ourselves here.
Well, it's moved from hubris to vanity. And the thing is, you also get to throw sloth in there because there is now an additional, and I'll have to track that article down, but there's an additional 2.5 tons of medical waste in the ocean because of surgical gloves and masks.
Oh my God, I know. I saw that. That was one thing that somebody brought up was masks or the new cigarette butt.
Exactly. The new cigarette butt. In 2 years, not even 2 years since like masks and everything were really introduced, 2.5 tons extra of pollution has entered the oceans because of this nonsense. And it's even more so on land. Like Comic said, it's called the new cigarette butt. They're everywhere.
Right. I saw pictures of that now. I was really blown away.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like, that's terrible. I mean, that is like legit an environmental hazard.
Because I walk right outside of my house. I'd be hard pressed to find a cigarette butt. But I can tell, I know for a fact there's like 2 or 3 of them laying outside right down on the ground.
Right. Yeah, dude, I see every time I'm walking from the car to the grocery store to go in, there is always a used mask on the floor or on the ground.
Absolutely, they're everywhere.
Several.
So it's the new condom, also, huh?
Yeah.
Worse. It's worse than those before because like
They get used more.
They
I
use
mean,
them.
again, I agree. Like it's becoming the new cigarette butt, but like we got to a point where you'd be hard pressed to find a cigarette butt anywhere because people wouldn't throw them out like they usually
Yeah, because of like
You know
social
what?
shaming.
I throw
You
mine.
know what?
too.
I found an even more perfect analogy for us all.
Mm.
You know, in the 1700s, when when the French aristocrats started carrying around deckered handkerchiefs that were too embroidered to even use, that's this. That's
Yeah.
exactly this.
So Naked Fame has a great comment. Masks are great when you go shopping. No one can identify me when I rob the store blind. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Mags for $5. Lady Grave Master is right. Time is also currency, and when Hollywood wastes my time and money with garbage, I get less motivated to watch anything.
Yep.
Good comment. Yep.
That is
very good.
Pretty fucking true.
Yeah. And
I mean,
I'm just gonna show for this because I always show for this when this topic comes up. But if you are all but black-pilled on the entertainment front and you have not yet read Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files, read Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files. It is 100% immune to wokeness. And as far as the author is concerned, will remain immune to wokeness as long as he has control of the IP. So
that's good.
If you like noir stuff, if you like fantasy, if you like superheroes and detective noir and magic and all that other stuff, if you like geek stuff in genre, read Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files novels. Do not, however, watch the show because the show is shies, but read the book.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's immune from wokeness. I've seen the show.
No, the show is terrible
woke.
and not at all a good adaptation of the books, but it was
I haven't read it, but I like the show. I
on Sci-Fi in 2004, so there's that. But
it was typical sci-fi schlock. But
right.
Yeah.
Blue-eyed
The
Roof
books
Green the
are
Base for
amazing, and they're immune to
$2.
wokeness.
How soon until Disney Plus becomes government mandated? Yeah.
Well,
Give it time, buddy.
You must have a mouse.
You must
They're
have
pushing the
mouse.
right message. They're getting
So, guys,
just cue the gif of Donald going "Hi, Hail Hitler" as he works in the factory from the Pure State.
have you guys heard the new news about Alec Baldwin?
Oh yeah.
No.
He says that he didn't pull the trigger. The gun just magically went off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
There's no way
guns
that
do,
happened.
guys.
Right.
As guns do.
Revolvers don't do that. They
I
are one
know.
of the safest weapons you will
Yes.
ever handle.
Yeah.
There is like no weapon really just goes off.
No.
And there is no such thing as an accidental misfire. That is
Yeah.
not a real thing. There is a negligent discharge.
Right.
That is what
Which is what
called.
happened
Yes.
because he pulled the fucking
He
trigger.
pulled the fucking. Not only did he do that, I guarantee you he cocked the hammer because he's filming a western,
Yes.
and that is a staple
single.
of the genre.
Right.
You cock the hammer because it is the sound thing. It is just like when you do that's why when they have shotguns in shows, it's why they don't have an automatic shotgun. They have where you have to pump it. You have to have a pump shotgun because that is something that is a staple of the genre or the shotgun because it's supposed to it's a psychological trigger. It makes
My
you
favorite thing, which is
especially
the
Western
dumbest things in Hollywood, is where you hear the sounds of everybody cocking their gun.
Yeah.
It's like that's.
I remember.
I know it's a trope.
Yeah. I wanted to
But
hear that.
it's
when
like
I got
nobody
mine.
fucking does that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, especially Western revolvers. They're single shot. So you have to pull it back.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's so funny about this.
They're not
is that
double.
Yeah, there's no way. And it took him weeks to say
No,
this.
this
You know,
is
when he was in
attorney.
This
the
is
This is a-
damage control as well.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is his attorney. This is his attorney telling him, let's
This
start,
is the
Well,
dumbest
not
thing
only
he could have
that.
ever
Okay,
done.
it's a
period.
trope that if you drop a gun,
Right.
like most action movies, we see the gun falling down the stairs and it's continuing to fire. That shit does not happen. Now, certain guns, if you do drop them, can go off. Typically, they are
Yeah, they
older
can.
revolvers. But the
Double
shit that they're
single
talking
action.
about, like, this revolver, he said he didn't pull the trigger. It just went off.
Well,
That doesn't fucking happen.
here's
No,
my
I meant
understanding.
single
bullshit.
action. Sorry. I meant single action. Sorry. I said single shot. Single action. That's what I meant.
Go ahead, Tom.
What is it? As far as like he should not have even done this. Like, but all the people, whoever the lawyers are for Alec, for the armorist, all the people involved with this, they're the world's worst fucking lawyers I've ever seen in
Amen.
my life.
Right.
This is only going to make his case.
Whatever happened to keep your fucking
But look at the cycle of arguments that they've gone through.
Right, because I think they could convince the people with this. They're trying to move people emotionally, so they can start pointing.
First, it was a prop gun that exploded. Right. Then we find out that he pulled the trigger. Then we find out that somebody may have tampered with the gun. I didn't even pull the trigger. The gun just went off.
Well, here's the thing we have now, because we have more official news. Because for months we've all been weeks we've been going off of, a lot of hearsay and people who knew somebody on the set who said this, that, and the other. Now we've actually got some real stuff out there this week. And this is why I don't even understand why Alec Baldwin's lawyers would let him do this. Because just this last week, from the initial report that came out, there is some damning shit coming from the armorist. And if Alec would have just kept his fucking mouth shut, he would be pretty much in the clear at this point, because there is some very bad shit gone down between the armorist and what. Why is there live ammo involved? And then you got her dad coming up with this convoluted motherfucking story out of nowhere. Are you kidding me? I don't know.
And to top it all off, this is a public interview, which means it's admissible in court. They can use this.
Yeah,
it's just so stupid.
I think that's the point.
So, Tom, what exactly has come out with this?
Well, that was just it. Was that there was a live round on the set.
Right. Well, he was saying that he's like, there shouldn't have been a bullet. There shouldn't have been a bullet.
Yeah, which is true. And the armorist basically said she didn't pay enough attention more than once. And then they're trying to insert all kinds of other bullshit when the problem is this. The armorist was not on the set when there was a gun on the set. That's a big no-no from what I know of. Nobody else is supposed to touch the gun except for the armorist and the actor. And then there was also the whole supposed that the second unit director or first assistant director or whatever it was that handed it to him. That's another big no-no as far as I know. And she wasn't even there when it happened. She was outside supposedly. But the whole thing was her dad come out and said that there was it could have even been a repacked blank with an actual load.
Okay.
Which is okay, so how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And then there was the other story he came up with that was so fucking convoluted that they went and they were doing they were shooting with people, and they were afraid they were going to run out of blanks, so they said bring some real bullets along, and those bullets supposedly got mixed in with the other ones.
Oh,
what?
See, this is a management failure. The producers are completely culpable in this situation. I don't care what anybody says. And if what is true, if it really is, because the whole reason apparently that she was outside and not with the weapons is because of COVID restrictions. Now you have a serious problem, because that is 100% on the producers and the directors of this of Rust, because they're the ones who are enforcing that. So if that is the case,
and he's one of the producers.
lies. Yeah, I know he's one of the exactly.
Yeah.
So this is 100% on them as well. But it all boils down to Alec is the one that pulled the freaking trigger, because I will repeat, there is that revolver did not just go off by itself.
No doubt.
Right. It wasn't. Yeah. And there's no way. I told you, remember comics I said a few weeks ago, I'm going to set up a camera and put my gun in there in a vise, and we're going to just watch it 24 hours a day. Just leave it on the stream. See if it ever fires itself.
Yeah.
Well, and as far as the story about the shooting and the other bullets getting involved, that had nothing to do with this movie. That was on a previous deal. So that's where it's I said, was it was seemingly lying more in the fault of the armorist the more and more you look into it, and the negligence on the armorist's part. But if him now coming out here and saying this is the dumbest fucking thing, he should have kept his mouth shut. Shouldn't be doing this interview. Shouldn't be doing any of this shit. Just they shouldn't be out there doing and saying any of this shit.
Like I always say, Hanlon's razor, never attribute to malice, what can adequately be explained by incompetence. And world-class incompetence right here, ladies and
gentlemen. There was one other bit that came
hang
out.
on, I want to read a comment from Zarscipio, because he Googled something. He says, I Googled it, and a report says that a replica gun like Baldwin's used can fire without the trigger being pulled if the firing mechanism is damaged or is a design fault. That would require, again, for him to cock the hammer back. Right. That makes sense. because
I
an
was gonna
action
say-
is being taken. Because
Yes.
if you cock it and it doesn't hold and it hits the hammer hits the bullet, yes, you're correct. It's going to go off.
Right.
That's right.
And
That
But
could be
that
what he
again
meant.
requires an action, which is for him to pull back
And
the hammer.
wasn't this supposedly the gun that had 2 prior misfires on the set? That was another thing that was going on. That I don't know for sure.
I
But
don't
one
know.
thing I do know for sure that was
I didn't
also
hear
in the report. The last thing that I remember from that report was she claimed that the last bullet didn't go in the gun. She had cleaned it out and then it went in, and she is basically positing through that that was the bullet, and that was why. And again, that still falls on her. Why would you use that bullet if it didn't fit the first time?
Right. But
I
Why
know,
didn't you
right?
examine it? Why didn't you feel that it was different? If you're, because that's the thing is she was freaking out from the start because she knew that the problem was that she was going to be painted as an inexperienced young armorist on a very chaotic set. And she
Well, I'm
probably
sure what
knew-
it was is she got used to cutting corners, and I'm sure like the first 50 times she did something like this, it went off without a hitch. She didn't think anything of it, and then the one
Mhm.
time, you know, Murphy's Law kicked in,
Absolutely.
it literally blew up in everybody's face.
but do we know that it was her fault? See, I hate jump until we.
I
know.
hate to
Well,
jump
they're
to that
trying to-
point too, but you look at the chain of events, and unfortunately, the problem we're talking is whether you pulled the trigger or not.
Mhm.
As an actor, when you're relying on that, it's the armorist's job, right?
Right,
Like,
but
it's
also
their
doesn't he have to know how to
responsibility.
use
To
a
literally
weapon?
make sure things don't blow up in your face.
Right, but shouldn't he know how to use a weapon and to check it and see if there's a live
That's not
round?
necessarily
He-
a requirement of his as an actor.
But he does know how to use a weapon. This is not the first time that he's ever been on a set with weaponry or firearms. He is well aware of weapon safety rules. He is well aware of protocol, of safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
He knows you're not
wasn't he
supposed
in
to
The
point
Edge?
the fucking thing.
Oh yeah, he's
Excuse
done
my
many.
language.
Yeah,
He's not supposed to point the fucking gun at other people. This
Right.
is like, yes, all of those other people are culpable. I agree. The armorer, like, she needs to be booted out of the profession and the industry and go
Mhm.
do something else where she's not going to, be indirectly responsible for the death of another person. But this falls on Alec Baldwin.
Right.
He is the one who disregarded every single safety rule, every single procedure, all of the precautions that are in place, and then, being the man baby that he is, decided that he was going to point the fucking weapon at people who were on set. I don't care what the hell you think is in that weapon. Projectile, it doesn't matter what the fucking projectile is. If it hits
Right.
the right spot, it can kill you. Blanks will kill you. If you are close enough, if you are in close enough contact when it goes off, and it is anywhere near your temple or an artery, you're
Mhm.
fucking
Smart.
Yeah,
dead.
you're dead.
Yeah, you are.
There's a lot of things that
Well,
You know,
here's one thing I will say about that, though. As far as like him pointing at somebody, if that was a requirement for the scene, that will happen.
Right, but he had to check it. The thing is he's been in too many movies.
Mhm.
I mean, The
That's a lot of
Getaway,
woulda, shoulda,
Right.
coulda. We don't know, and you can say that all
That's
day
not a
long,
we
but
don't know.
he's-
You
No,
always
any
clear a
fucking
weapon.
actor,
Anytime you
though.
hand
Not
a
his
weapon
job,
off
whether
or
or
you
not
accept a
anybody-
weapon, you
anybody
clear it.
picks up
That's
a
the
weapon.
that any weapon that you handle, it doesn't matter what the fuck the weapon is, you clear it. And it doesn't matter if the person in front of you cleared it when they hand it
Right,
to you. You
absolutely.
clear it when you clear it once it's in your possession, because
They're
you are now
technically not
responsible
allowed
for
to.
anything that happens.
Well,
with
hang
that
on. There's
weapon.
something I want to point out with bullets, or at least prop bullets. And Tom, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that prop bullets basically look like real ones, right?
They do.
Like,
That's the
They're
problem.
really-
The only
because the idea of going and checking the gun to see if it's loaded with a real bullet or not, it's like I don't think that necessarily passes the
and
sniff test.
technically the
If you could
actor
dis-
cannot
if-
open
if
that
you could
gun.
distinguish between them, yeah.
He
Yeah,
cannot.
if you can't distinguish between them, a fake one's going to look like a real one. So
No, I
There's
don't
that.
think they do. No, because they don't have. They don't have the. Oh my god, the name of it. I'll tell you. It has a primer.
well, typically
it has-
blanks,
but it doesn't-
an actual blank that doesn't look
Right.
like a regular bullet
Right. It
doesn't obviously have a bullet
what they
on
were
it.
It doesn't
talking
have
about
the
the
bullet,
repack.
so you'd be able to see. You'd be
Yeah.
able to see it if you had checked it. I think that anybody who handles a firearm, if you have to check it. I mean, that's just gun safety 101.
Because
Well, here's the
I
thing.
believe the thing that they were trying to do is that, and again, there's so much conflicting information. He was supposed to draw it and point it at the camera and pull the trigger. Now, because it's a revolver, you need to have real looking bullets in the chamber.
Well,
But
this is
most
where
of the
the
time,
repack
blanks don't
comes
have a
in.
bullet. And when it fires, you just get the muzzle flash.
There's different kinds of blanks, and I don't know the specific names for them. But here's the thing: where that repack business comes in, that her dad was talking about. If that's true, and somebody took what was a casing for a blank and repacked it with an actual bullet, is what I think he's trying to say, which is fucking insane that you would do that in the first fucking place.
Because you're making a projectile then. I mean,
Exactly, because
Yeah.
the
Why
thing
would
is,
you do
what
that?
you're saying is the different bullet types have, because as far as like actual live ammo, they generally don't ever have that on the set for any reason whatsoever, period. That's the whole
Right.
point that they're getting at here. And when they do it for any reason, it's a very meticulous thing. And the armorist is the one who is responsible for all these things. Nobody else is supposed to handle the gun until it's handed to the directly to the actor themselves. The actor cannot open that gun. They are not allowed to. If they think something is wrong or something isn't right, they can call for a check. At that point, as far as I know, from what I've been told by several
Right.
people now, then the armorist has to take that gun
Right.
and go check it like they're supposed to. That's their responsibility.
So you're saying an actor cannot double check what he's
No.
been given?
Yeah, there's got to be a chain of responsibility there.
Yeah.
for
No,
the person
they
involved
cannot
in that
touch
accident.
because at that point, then that adds in the possibility that it could be tampered with.
That makes sense.
But how does
Also,
that-
Latino slant says there's a lot of accidental discharge in this. Film.
But here's the thing, and I'm not making excuses for Alec
No,
Baldwin.
no,
As
I
a
know you're not.
producer, he is 110% liable here. And that's where he knows he's trying to cover his tracks. As an actor, you're going to have the hardest time in the world making an argument in a court of law unless there was some kind of way that you can prove that it was malicious in any way. Even a manslaughter charge, you're going to have a hard time making stick.
Okay, so Don Hans is saying, sorry, man. He said in the interview, okay, which I did not watch, by the way, he wasn't supposed to pull the trigger. That's why I heard, too, that initially he wasn't supposed to do that. So why did he do it then?
Well,
Right.
that's the thing. I
Responsibility.
don't know that part either. And who knows what happened as far as if he's right, if it went off without the trigger being pulled. I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm sure it
anything
was.
about
I'm sure it was one of those things of like, well, I've jokingly done this a couple of times and nothing bad happened, so I'll just jokingly do it this time. And
Well,
I think
wait
that's
a
what,
minute.
oh no, something bad, terrible happened. Oh dear.
Here-
Well,
here's a
like I
question,
said,
what happens now?
There has to be something that happened that transpired for the hammer to
Right.
strike the bullet. Like I said, if the hammer was already in the parked position, it's not going to go off
Right.
unless it was struck previously and then it went off. Something had to have happened for that to transpire. Because yes, you can have a there's plenty of times where I fired a round and the round didn't go off.
Right.
because
you get a
of-
bad round. Then bad
Yeah, there's a
priming,
bad round.
strike.
But the
primer
problem is
strike.
there's times where if that happens, the bullet can still go off, a little bit later. And usually that is because there's either a design flaw with the gun, because I watch the Gun Collective and they talk about this shit all the time, where there's a poor design, they pull the trigger, nothing happens, and then like 5 seconds later it goes off. The only thing I could say with him not pulling the trigger and it going off is something hit the hammer into the bullet. It's the possibility it could have gone off that way. But again, a physical action had to have transpired to cause that bullet to go off. Bullets don't magically discharge.
Right. No. Here's a question: where does it go from here, Tom? Do you think? I mean, are they going to get rid of guns in the industry and just use CGI
There's gonna
or
be
effects?
There's going to be talk about it for a while, but it'll just. Here's the thing, and this is what I keep reminding everybody from the start. This is the first time we've had an accident like this in 30 years.
Yeah,
And
this
even
is
then-
very uncommon.
And even then, that last accident was a completely different scenario. This was a situation where you had live ammo on the set, which that's what it's going to all boil down to. Because when we first heard about this, I wasn't even sure about that part. Like, because when they said, the director and the assistant director got hurt, I was thinking, oh, this is probably like the Crow situation.
The Crow, yeah.
Where a cap got lodged in there. And what happened was it blew out and it melted and it shot into Brandon Lee's abdomen and they couldn't get it out. So he had died from it being, lodged in there.
Right,
So I thought maybe that's how both the director and the camera lady got hit.
right.
Well, then we find out it's a real bullet, which means that it ricocheted off of one of her bones and went into him.
Okay, well, what
most
about?
likely.
I thought there was another one 15 years before. You remember that television show?
Well, there's been a couple of other ones. But
I Gotta Be a
yeah.
Hero or something, where that guy was like a new up and coming
Yeah,
star.
but he
and
actually shot. He fired a blank into his head.
Yeah,
And-
was
and a blank
Leighton
does fire a wad of
Gravemaster
cotton.
was talking about earlier, where it can be dangerous to do that because
Right.
you have a blast coming out of there basically,
Yes.
and if there's
Mhm.
something that's coming out of there at enough high speed velocity with heat, like that's kind of what happened to Brandon Lee. Like if he'd have been standing maybe 5 feet farther back, it might have hurt him, but it wouldn't have killed him.
The blank still can really hurt you. Like people don't understand that.
We've had comments too about people that have worked on set and they've used machine guns that fire blanks, and they basically had cover and it still like damaged the cover that they were under. So yeah, a blank can be dangerous.
Well, especially when you're firing when you're doing rapid fire movements or exercises. Like there was a situation because the muzzle still gets really hot. So what can happen is like kind of like the crow situation. Like if the cap gets lodged and it melts, like it will become a projectile at that point.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So like rapid fire is extreme. But see, the other thing too is like if at any point you have to point a weapon towards a camera, it's supposed to be on like a string or it's supposed to be mounted, and everybody else is supposed to clear out of the area. Like you're never supposed to actually point a weapon at anybody.
You're right there,
like
probably,
that.
as far as I know. Yeah.
So like those are procedures that are in place that Alec Baldwin completely disregarded because I guess whatever. The man has been in the business for a long time, but I will say that this is something that is true every single time. Complacency will kill. Like when you get lazy, when you're like, I've done this 1,000 times, it's no biggie, like whatever, and then boom, somebody dies.
See, I'm more willing to believe it's that kind of a
incompetence equals death.
That's everything. That's even in diving. They tell you that.
See, I'm more willing to believe it's something like that. Like it's like, could he have checked it or asked for a check? Probably, and he probably should have, considering she said in her statement that the cart was locked and then she left for lunch, and then when she came back, it was whatever. As far as she knew, nobody had touched anything. But that's not the thing. She is supposed to stay with that cart no matter what. Like that cart goes with her everywhere, as far as I know from my understanding. Like that's the whole point of it being a cart that's mobile.
You can debate. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's the whole point. Is she's supposed to stay like with that cart?
She's responsible
the entire time. Yeah.
You could debate levels of responsibility, but from the point when that thing was loaded or not checked, whatever it was, to the point when it went off, everybody has a responsibility there.
Yep. No, I know. I think they were also doing a rehearsal scene, so that's probably why the camera lady was there and the camera and the director were there. But again, why was he pointing it directly there without even if it was? You could sit there and ask yourself that all day long. We don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of film
video.
Footage.
Is there? Yeah,
I'm sure there has to be.
There probably is.
They confiscated everybody's phones on the set. If they were shooting in digital, they were probably shooting the whole time. So they might even have the whole event from several angles.
I kind of wonder if maybe that footage has been magically confiscated and has disappeared.
I was wondering.
There's probably way too much of it for that to happen.
Let's hope. Let's get some super chats. I got to get to Mr. Tickle Trunks. He has a really funny one. It's been mentioned by several people. Apparently, I've said cock and discharge one too many times.
Demonetized.
Joachim Stark for his 50 Swedish krona. The Wheel of Time do not even have high pirate downloads numbers. Is anyone surprised? I'm actually surprised by the fact that it has low pirated downloads.
Motu is the same.
Has anyone seen it? Has anyone seen even an episode? I haven't. And how was it, Lady G? How was it?
Oh wow!
Yeah, that laugh says it all.
Okay, so
okay, Lady G.
To give it, huh?
Go ahead.
So I have an overall review on my channel from the first 3 episodes. I'm still working on the episodic reviews for 1 through 4 because episode 1, like all of them are terrible, but I was trying to keep them about 15 minutes. I have been trying to edit down an hour and 28 minutes of ranting on episode 1 with just the first 10 minutes of the episode. That's how terrible this show is. Within the first 30 seconds, not only do they absolutely destroy the prologue and a foundation cornerstone of the entire story and lore overall, but it's also just a man-hating bash fest. And it's absolutely terrible.
Nothing like
okay,
the book.
So here's a worthwhile question. I assume you know about the travesty that is the Netflix Death Note adaptation. What's worse, that or Wheel of Time?
Which one's worse? Oh my
as
god.
I don't
both
know,
an
man.
adaptation
When
and
it
a
comes
product.
to shit like that, I can't tell you which one's worse because they're both bad.
Okay,
They're
you know
really
what?
both
Actually,
bad, yeah.
you know why Wheel of Time is worse?
Why?
Because as terrible as and I love the manga and the
Death
anime
Note.
of Death Note, but as terrible as that was, it had William Dafoe.
Yeah,
Fair
true.
play.
So,
True.
so Wheel of Time automatically is just that hair worse because
Hmm.
Death Note had William Dafoe. But
I would
Okay.
say Death Note is
which
bad,
I think we all
but it
can
wasn't
agree.
woke bad.
Willem Dafoe's Ryuk is the worthwhile cast. Is the only
absolutely,
That was
reason
actually-
why that
yeah.
should have
Yes.
ever existed.
that
So
So
that
how was it
casting
compared to
was
the
brilliant.
books? I mean, are you talking it was I hear how you're saying it's bad. Is it that it was off from the books, or are you just talking about directing, cinematography, like it was just cheaply done? What in your review?
Okay, so
Well, Death Note was
Not
Death
Death
Note
Note, I
in
meant the
spirit.
Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, not Death Note. I meant the Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. Okay, if you even read just like so, I have only read the first 5 books, and I just finished rereading book 1. I'm
Mhm.
halfway through book 2, and I'm going to finish book 3 again, hopefully before I stream on Monday with Steeg and talk about it. But so if you even read the first 5 chapters of book 1,
Okay.
the context of everything, it's like the breaking of the world, the dragon reborn, who the dragon actually was, who the dark one is, all of it is not only completely undermined by the show and utterly
okay.
destroyed, but the dragon reborn has to be a male. The reason being is because there are 2 halves of the power, or the true source, the one source.
Right.
So the male side is tainted, which means any man that has the ability to touch the power, he goes crazy. And the way that Jordan explains it, which is quite brilliant, is the power itself is still pure, but there's a level of that, like right above it, sort of like oil on water.
Okay.
There's a sickness above the magic, and you have to go through it to get to the power. So
there's a filter, yeah.
yeah, so.
Mhm.
So the reason that the Dragon Reborn is such a big deal is because he's supposed to be able to touch the male side of the like that's not the only reason, but
Okay.
there's like all of this stuff building up. So it has to be a dude. Has to be. And Moraine is not supposed to be the central character but that is passing that over. She takes these 4 from the 2 rivers from Aemon's Field. They screwed up everybody's character. But what's supposed to happen is that when Egwene comes, it's because of her own volition. It's because she's able to touch the power and use it and utilize it. She can listen. They call it listening to the wind. Well, in Amazon, instead of her being set up to be an Aes Sedai, is what they're called. That's what Moraine is. Rather than it be that, she now is in contention to be the Dragon Reborn, who is either going to save or break the world again.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate
And that's
it.
just the first 10 minutes of episode 1.
Wow.
Oh,
So they
Jesus.
just really did what
It's-
Hollywood typically does. They
No.
told you
Fundamentally rewrote it.
Yeah, it's absolutely atrocious what they have done.
I can hear
And
it.
now I think you can understand why my
Yeah, I hear you.
I haven't been this annoyed since Roland Deschain was cast as Idris Elba, and I'm like, but that's
So it gives
literally
us a
against
heads up.
every description
Right.
we have of the character.
Well, it gives us a
Yeah.
heads up of what they're going to do to Lord of the Rings. I mean,
yes,
that's gonna be-
exactly.
Yeah.
This is the
Wow.
litmus
Oh,
for Lord of the Rings.
no.
Guys, you have to understand this too. Hold on, I'm gonna find that tweet because this is really important. Understand
Jesus.
this.
What is-
Amazon is spending $10 million an episode on Wheel of Time. $10 million in an episode.
Are you serious?
I am dead freaking serious.
I was gonna say, at least it has a decent budget, unlike Netflix
That
and
they're not
Sandman, which
even
looks
using.
cheap as shit.
Right. That's what she's saying.
Like,
Is
they're-
it looks cheap too.
It's a 10. Like I don't know what they are.
Using it on?
It's money
It's not-
laundering. I
it's
have no
not-
idea what is going on, but it's not being spent on the story. Like
Probably like Star Trek Discovery, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we got to welcome Mads.
Thank you. What does
Man.
any of this have to do with cock and discharge?
I gotta go.
Nothing. You're back and already with dick jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Hey,
knew the
George.
dick was
Apparently,
gonna
he's
peel
been
it back.
listening this entire time. So loose cannon for $5. They're gonna
Always good
fuck
to see
up
it.
Moon Knight 2.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You know, R.I.P. all the awesome Conchu stuff they could have used.
Yeah, Conchu, help us all. Yeah.
You're not wrong there, my friend.
Yeah. Darius Munchausen for 149 with a box of popcorn. Also, Toxic Man Flu for $5 is one special Israel roast coffee uncircumcised.
No. What the hell? Damn, Tom.
Yeah, Tox got.
Damn.
Lewis Cannon 84 for $2. Omicron is an anagram for moronic.
Go to another.
That's probably what they think we're all. We're all a bunch of fucking.
Aren't they spending $1 billion on the Lord of the Rings? I mean, that was what I read last year.
Allegedly, it's going to be 22 million an episode on average, somewhere between 22 to 27 million per episode.
So
Allegedly.
When is it actually set though? Because I know they're not introducing Melkor.
In the I thought it was set in the Silmarillion.
Oh,
I was gonna say
it is supposed to be set during the Silmarillion.
It has to be sometime during the Silmarillion, but
they 3,000 years before. Sorry, I was trying to. Yeah.
Okay, so second age. So
Second
Sauron
age.
back when he was still able to shapeshift into a vampire and a werewolf and shit.
Yes, it's supposed to have where you're supposed to see.
So after Melkor, but
the
before the sinking of Gondolin.
Yeah, you're supposed to have the two trees.
Sinking of Gondolin, they're gonna start right with the fall of Numenor. That's literally
I thought-
supposed to be episode 1.
Okay, so
I thought it's
that's where
supposed
we're going.
we're
I
still gonna
was
have
gonna
the
say because nobody at Amazon is stupid enough to try to overshadow Sauron using Melkor because, quite frankly, they're not smart enough to know
No,
who
but they are going
Melkor
to make
is.
Sauron per all of the leaks that have come out. They're going to make Sauron a sympathetic villain.
Oh,
my
of course.
Is that because they're going to make him gay?
Allegedly, he'll be bi.
Oh yeah,
That's why he can't be a fucking real villain then.
Because
Non-binary.
Myron, his original name was Myron, and his original reason for following Melkor was he wanted order. That was the actual justification in the Silmarillion, and you can check it if you don't believe me. So I will allow Sauron to be somewhat sympathetic, but he needs to fall for praise.
I'm sure Amazon will be thrilled to hear they have your approval.
All right, so Tom, Mag says for $5, badge of honor, Tom, which he's referring to you being banned by blocked by Kevin Smith.
You're a hero.
I'm working on my band now, so
You know what you need to do, Tom? You need to make another account. You need to make another account and then antagonize and go, "Hey, it's Tom." But, like Kevin Bacon.
Hey, it's your friend Tom. Kevin Smith.
I never even got into my theories of why or how I think he came about blocking me either. But
how?
Okay, so what's the theories?
The short version is either because we were talking smack about him on the show the other day and he saw it, which I doubt is unlikely. That, or I think what the most likely scenario is when he put out that tweet that he was like, "Oh, it seems the hate has gone away," and blah 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 blah. When I retweeted that one, I'm thinking what he did is he went through all because if you look at that thread, like the negativity on that thread to the positivity is like 10-1.
Oh,
so I'm thinking he went through and anybody that had a retweet with a large amount of likes, he probably blocked them people. And I think that's where
that just shows you how
I don't know.
pathetic he is.
Yeah.
No, but if he did that,
thin bitch.
Yeah, that's thin. Come on.
He is
It's
a thin bitch now. He
used
lost
to
all the
not
weight.
be.
You
The
know,
reason
when he
it
was
still
fat,
bugs
you
me-
know.
Because he didn't block Andre, he did not block Midnight's Edge. As far as I know, like many other people are not blocked yet, but I was just one of the few that he picked to block for some reason.
Well, good. That's an honor.
It's like being blocked by Steve Shives. It's a rite of passage.
Maybe he saw my little figure reenactment. Oops.
Oh yeah,
That was freaking awesome.
Oh,
The
that would
bigger
be fucking
reenactment was
great.
awesome, Tom.
Yeah,
I
it
remember.
was.
But you think he would have blocked me too, considering that was on my stream.
Well, I did kind
Yeah.
of clip it out and attach it to a tweet of critical drinkers, but nobody really paid attention to it, so I don't know.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. All right, back to super chats. Colt Seaman for $5. I don't know why y'all are crapping on Masters of the Universe season 2. For what I've seen, it's pretty good. Oh wait, never mind. I was watching porn. Sorry. Oh, dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
The only way you can
Porn would
confuse
be
the
a better
two is
use
if
of your
you're
time.
I say the only way you could confuse the two is if you're watching porn with chicks with dicks. But hey,
I
Yeah.
know. And you got
True.
Tila banging, the.
Yeah.
The
That's
skeleton.
Apparently, he got a
Literally.
lot of heat for not making Tila an actual lesbian, but who fucking cares? Diego Flores for 10 Peruvian souls. As I said, the masks only help one thing. If you sneeze, you don't launch stuff 30 feet away. That is what has helped us here, because how Peruvians say F 6 feet and are lined up 5 inches away. Yeah.
Just sneeze into your elbow, like a
Yeah.
adult, like anybody who has any sense of hygiene. Like
Right.
these like this whole situation is literally so that unhygienic individuals can continue to be unhygienic and just hide behind a mask. Like,
Lowest common denominator.
ugh. They don't have to brush their teeth. They don't have to wash their face. They don't have to sneeze into their elbow. They don't have to cough into their elbow. They don't have to do any of that now because they've got
these
their
are the
magic
people the
mask
government's
on.
trying to protect. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Toxic man flu. Serious question for the panel. Is Walton's special Israel roast coffee uncircumcised? Asking for a friend. We'll call him Bill Gibson. Then he realized that he super chatted me that twice, which is pretty funny. Blue-eyed roof crane, the base for $5. These crazy double maskers will have shallow breathing just in time for Civil War II. The Great Boogaloo. Easy pickings. Trade your mask for baklavas.
Balaclavas.
Balaclavas, that's how you say it. That's right. Which is funny considering I have one.
How you doing, man? Good to see you. You.
Yeah, you.
Me?
We're talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
you.
Sorry,
The one that
I
likes
zoned out,
dick
man.
down there in
Y'all
the,
went.
you know.
Oh
No,
wow.
Stop talking dick and your mind went somewhere else.
What? No, y'all were talking about Lord of the Rings for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
It's
Well,
only
we're
a
geeks.
classic. I know it doesn't have enough dick for you. But
Lady
I
Gaga
was gonna say you
mask,
should
I'll
like
get
that
to
with
your-
all that.
The thing
but,
you're
you know.
sharing in a
you
second.
got all that. You'll love the Amazon's version. It'll have a lot of dick in it.
Boy,
This
everybody's
is hilarious.
jumping on this dick train, huh?
Mr. Tucker for 280 pesos.
I'm sure it got boring for you after Melkor lost his hammer in the first big battle with what the frick is his name? The guy that made the Silmarils.
Oh, 100%. I was like, what happened to his hammer?
Oh God, man.
You just wanted the giant hammer that could make canyons.
Yeah.
Every
I
time
was
it's
it's like, how's he gonna make canyons now without his hammer?
I love Mr. Chickle Trunks comments because they're so fucking on point. Mask glitter. We have paper straws. We're saved.
Right.
You know how horrible those damn
Fucking
things
paper
are?
straws.
Those are the
They're
worst.
so
I
gross,
don't have
man.
paper straws where I'm at. Like, that is not a thing here. And if that ever becomes a thing here, I'm pretty sure the people will riot because
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you are in the South, but
Yes.
like Sonic and Brahms and Whataburger, like if they ever go to paper straws, I think that will start Civil War number
No.
two.
I stocked up on like plastic straws, so
Yeah,
I
me
got a
too.
whole cabinet.
I have metal
full of
straws. I actually like the metal ones. Those are pretty
I like them.
badass.
They are pretty cool. Yeah, I'm in the South. and
I'm
they're-
pretty sure I got a paper straw from Las Palapas. Comics knows what I'm talking about.
I
The one
know
over-
Los Palapas, but not paper straws there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got one from there. The one over between HEB and CVS. You know what I'm talking about. It's in our neighborhood, bro. Come on.
It's like I think I know which one you're talking about.
He's like,
Joking start
I
for
don't know
20
what you're
Swedish
talking
krona.
about.
He's trying to narrow me down.
No, you got
It's
I
HEB,
know,
right?
he's
And then
trying
you
to
have
narrow you
box
down
in
to
the
get into
human
your
history.
neighborhood, dude.
HEB, then Starbucks, and then Lapalapas.
La what? Las
Lapalapas.
Las Palapas.
Mexican food
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah, it's Spanish. Don't worry about it, George.
Joachim Stark for 20 Swedish krona. Jim Butcher, Codex Alera.
Dresden Files is better. I'm sorry. I know Jim does other books, but Dresden Files is his magnum opus.
Oh, it's
And he's
Jim
not even
now.
done
I
with it
wasn't
yet.
aware you guys were on first name basis. What's that like? I'm just
Jim Butcher is one of those cool creators you can just have a
just call
conversation
Jim.
with.
Just say Jim. Okay.
Toxic Man Blue for $2. Malicious discharge is what we call your first son. That was
awesome.
fucking great.
Wait, is that why you pull the hair back too? Why you just
oh Jesus.
What?
It's a Gungan for $9.99 with a super sticker that says KO, and it's of a hippopotamus doing an uppercut.
What?
It's a
I think
super
that's
sticker
when I
of a
was
hippopotamus
thinking.
doing an uppercut.
Okay.
I don't see the super stick.
Yeah, well, it's because
StreamYard doesn't show it.
StreamYard
Not
doesn't
yet.
show it.
Yeah, I know. I'm even looking at it right now, and I don't even see it for some reason. So
All right. Dan Hans for $2. Baldwin is lying. I think he's lying too.
No, don't say
Oh, I
that.
think-
Oh, we haven't rolled out Ghost yet, so let's give it some time.
Right.
Well, did you see his performance in the interview? I mean, he's given better performances.
I didn't see the
in
interview.
movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
Come on,
Matt,
you could
it's
act like that.
aliens. The guilty parties are all tripling down to save their skin.
Absolutely.
They are all responsible for the tragic loss of life
Yeah.
of, I can't say her name.
Helena Hutchins.
Helena Hutchins. There we go.
You
Absolutely.
cannot. If someone needs to go to prison, and if nobody goes to prison, like I have no idea, but there needs to be like a riot in the streets or something, because this was not. Okay. Here's the thing: people are like, "Oh, so it was an accident." No, this wasn't an accident. That doesn't mean it was intentional, but this wasn't an accident. This is what leads. This is what happens when a series of incompetent assholes and nepotism mix with prima donnas and people who think they know better.
You know,
along
accidental
with somebody-
homicide is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, state laws will vary from state to state, so the verbiage may be different. And what was it, New Mexico?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, I don't know New Mexico, but this is why we call it negligence discharge rather than accidental discharge like we used to, because it's not accidental. It's out of negligence, which is what this is.
Speaking of discharge, Mr. Tickle Trunk for 2 Canadian pesos. Cock discharge comics 2021.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right, that's
Tickle
the one I've been trying to get to for a while now. So let's take a look at what Lady Gravemaster is sharing here.
Okay. This is Moraine Sedai. This is her costume from the Amazon's Wheel of Time. If you
Okay.
ever read the description in the book, it is supposed to be an extremely vibrant blue. She's supposed to have this. She wears a gem on her head. It doesn't actually have power, but she can channel light through it that will help blind certain creatures of the dark, right? That's nowhere to be found. This is supposed to be a silver belt. It's black. There's some
God
scenes
damn,
in
I hate when they take all the interesting aesthetics out of things.
Yes, they've taken all of the interesting aesthetics out. Actually,
you mean like in Cowboy Bebop too? You know, so
Yeah, kind of.
That was too soon. That was too
It's just
soon,
too
Matt.
soon.
God
cloak-
damn it.
At a point, her cloak actually looks black in some parts of like different scenes. Her cloak looks black. Also, there's a huge, like at the end of episode 1, there's this big battle with the Trollocs, and she like calls down lightning. In the book, you learn about the battle afterwards. You don't actually get to like read or see the battle in the book, because you're following Rand. By the way that Rand saves his father and the Sword of the Hair, like so much crap. I hate this show. Anyway,
Are they removing the fantasy aspect to it?
Yeah. So this is what Amazon's $10 million budget did for Moraine, who is an Aes Sedai. She's a Blue Ajah. This is what they did for her with a $10 million budget. Here is a cosplayer.
Well, real quick, I don't know a lot of lore of the Wheel of Time or whatever, but do they have a Dillard's?
That is beautiful. I mean, that's
No.
That is a very, very nice cosplay costume.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
My joke.
Like
deserved
less
way
than,
more
I think she
attention.
said it was like less than $2,000, $10 million budget with Amazon. Like it's not even close.
Okay, this goes back to my age-old complaint about how cosplayers do it better, because, and again, cosplayers is like people like pointing out aren't actors. But why aren't you consulting with cosplayers to create these fucking costumes?
Or look at the picture.
That would require acknowledging that something had intrinsic value and wasn't just a means to an end to be exploited. And therein lies and this is why I harp on the philosophy angle of it so much, because the problem is not a lack of resources. The problem is not a lack of skill. The problem is a worldview that no matter what you refract through it, ends up making things look like shit. Because if you start from a faulty premise, you will get a faulty conclusion no matter how good the material is.
Okay, so here's the other thing too, though. Like, if you know how she looks. Oh, I'm so sorry. 1 second.
The child wanted to chime in.
Now we can have.
It's almost as if
room for Mads to
cosplayers
speak.
It's almost as cosplayers are
Finally.
more fans of these genres than the people that are producing them, and we see this
Because
all
they
the time.
believe it has intrinsic value as opposed
Right.
to
Well,
the
I mean,
people
they have
who
love
view
for
it as
the
a
lore.
means to an end.
I mean, I know
Comics-
there's a difference. I know there's a difference between fans who have a love for a certain thing and then producers and people who are just creating it to make money. But it's not. They're not even trying to respect the fans who are cosplayers or are people out there who put these kinds of outfits together.
Turn my
who put
mic
this
up
together.
another notch. Glad to see you woke up, Walton, to fill the.
I've been trying to
the-
get a word in, bro.
Jeez.
Oh, like, he's over there fingering a tree
Jed,
on the side.
Jed,
man.
hold on. Jeez. Anyways, comics. This is what we talked about. This is why we shouldn't have women on the panel. They talk so much.
And quote mind in 3, 2, 1.
There we go. Well, it's the problem when you have a lot of people that have a lot of opinions, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
if we all just start talking, we're all gonna step all over each other. So
Sorry.
that's a
What
fine.
I missed.
It's all fine. Nothing.
We had a.
Because you went away, we gave Mads an opportunity to talk.
Oh, I bet that was
And
And,
he threw you
the
underneath
second
the
he
bus.
opened his
Yeah,
mouth,
it
it got
was
all
not
misogynistic
wasted.
in here.
Are you serious? What's up with you, bro? What about the bro code? Man, immediately just breaking it.
I
Good Lord.
never had guy friends in high school. I never got
Clearly.
into that thing.
I love how Turo is saying Ryan is here.
I know, right?
Sorry, go ahead. Where were you at?
Me
Yeah.
or Matt? Okay. No, I was just gonna say that it's not even the issue isn't even with like the level of content or the caliber of content that you have. What you have here, if you look at this cosplayer, she is very feminine looking. She has the trimming on her cape. She has the belt and it's angled, and she's got
She's
curves.
beautiful,
Even under
is the thing.
even under this cape, she has curves. Like, she's gorgeous. What they have attempted to do here, everything is extremely like angular, and even like where she has like natural curves, they've attempted to flatten it as much as they possibly can.
Well, the other thing
Because
too,
it looks
for
like
some
something
reason
you'd
that
wear
looks
to the
like
office.
modern clothing to me.
I was gonna say, yeah, it
Because
looks like
my
something you wear
male
to the
gaze is
office.
sinful, derp.
Right.
Kind of like they have a Dillard's in their world.
Yeah.
Dillard's
He's right.
is a store that sells clothes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
what a
Yeah, we
Dillard's
all know what a
Yeah,
Dillard's is,
yeah.
Matt.
But
Matt.
Well, then why
Sorry,
are you
not
fucking
Matt,
laughing?
Mads.
God.
because
It was not fun.
like I think Hot Topic would be a better comparison for it.
For
But, like,
that?
yeah, you can find the shit
That's
at Hot
business casual all day.
Topic.
Well,
Well,
it's
so-
just like I was saying earlier about the Sandman thing. Would it really have been that hard to put the guy in some white makeup and give him some lenses to make his eyes look black?
Clearly,
I know,
yes.
right?
Would it really have been that hard? Given
Because-
that those are the two fundamental aesthetic markers of an endless. But never
Would it have
mind.
Yeah,
been
you're
hard?
asking a lot there, Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity's dead.
Well, and it's not even creativity. They are literally they think that the names are enough now. Like, they don't buy into the escapism of anything anymore. They don't buy into the setting that, like, oh, you don't actually
You
the
don't like this
costumes-
for a reason. You like this because it was there.
Yeah,
So-
it's like, we're going to do what we want with it, because the reason that this has tens of millions of fans and has sold tens of millions of copies in 12 different languages isn't because of the world building or the imagery or the story or any of the character arcs or anything like that. No, really, you just like it because it's all you had. So we're going to turn it into what we want, and you'll still like it because it's got the same names as everybody else. But people actually got mad in my comments, like, not a lot of people, but they were like, oh, you're being disingenuous because there's other scenes where she's clearly like, it's much brighter and it's much bluer. This is a scene that is like really but this is, you are up close. This is as close to her costume as you're going to get in the show itself, because she is otherwise, like, you're either panned out or Lan is next to her. There's so much that goes wrong. There's so much that is an issue. And so what they do is, like, the best thing that I can think of is OG Star Wars, like the original trilogy, where you have Luke who goes from white in episode 4 to gray in episode 5, black in episode 6, and then and then you start to see like his collar flips down and you see the white on his black outfit because it's all symbolic. It all matters. And they're telling us they're supporting the story with the costume. It's all part of the world building. It's all supposed to help you with suspension of disbelief. It all tells part of the story. And what Amazon has decided is that is not important. They don't need the vibrant colors. They don't need the intricate world building. They don't need to follow what Jordan wrote because they need to be smarter than what Jordan presented. They are smarter than what Jordan has. And when this fails, because it will, like we said earlier, the pirating numbers for this are in the toilet. Like, I think they are actually lower than what Masters of the Universe season 1 was, which is absolutely horrific.
It's even worse with Sandman, actually, because Neil Gaiman was involved in the creation of the new Sandman series for Netflix, and I don't know how much they must have paid him, but they must have paid him a bunch, because the second that the teaser trailer for Netflix's Sandman came out, and everyone lost their minds because Dream didn't look like Dream. He just looked like a random goth kid in a box.
Yeah, and Death didn't look like Death. I remember that.
Yeah, when that happened, there were like 3 CBR articles within the space of like 2 hours that were like, Neil Gaiman says the aesthetic of the analysts don't really matter. The aesthetic of the character doesn't really matter. John Constantine being involved in the story like he always has been doesn't really matter. And all the DC references to the story and Preludes and Nocturnes don't really matter. I'm like, so question, will there be any actual Sandman content in the Sandman series?
Well, this one's bad too.
Probably
Wheel of
not.
Time.
Simple question.
Wheel of Time has got Jordan's widow and Brandon Sanderson, who finished up the series after Jordan's passing. It had both of them like they were consulting on this.
Do you think it's... Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing about Cowboy Bebop, where the creator was like consulted, kind of.
Yeah, no,
But
like...
do you think it's arrogance, or do you think it's people wanting to see themselves on screen? Like,
I think a lot of that's probably people wanting to see themselves on screen.
Well, what it amounts to for me is, how much is your artistic integrity actually worth? Like, in the case of Robert Jordan, or in the case of Neil Gaiman, these were the IPs that put you on the map. So surely it matters to you what happens to them, but I guess not, because they added enough zeros onto the end of the check.
They made their fucking money. That's all that matters.
I recognize my bias when I look at these things is seeing a message being injected into the content. Like Lady Grandmaster was talking about how all the feminine curves were taken out of the character on screen. And I think about all the masculinization of women that are done in various properties. So, I don't understand how these people like Amazon would create a fantasy series and then not use that fantasy element, which is something that the people who love that genre want to see. How do they expect to succeed?
Part of it is actually laziness and I guess probably stuff with the budget, because
$10 million comics.
Yeah, the budget
for the IP is the main issue.
Not to mention,
okay, is that actually going into making the series?
10 million episode, yes.
Or is that also? I find that very difficult to believe. I really do.
Dillard's is more high end.
I believe you. I believe that they're saying that, but I'm finding it difficult to believe that they're actually putting $10 million into that.
No, I agree. That's why I said this has got to be like a money laundering thing.
It has to be. If it's going anywhere, it has to be paying somebody, or it's money laundering.
Not Rosamund Pike. I can guarantee you that she ain't getting paid.
What's that dude that does all the movies? He did like the King and I, not King and I, with Jason Statham. My Own King. What was that movie called?
In the Name of the King?
In the Name of the King. Yeah, that dude. He does all those movies over in like some like ex-Soviet Union country where like they're like, no, yeah, money laundering's not the thing here. That's Russian.
I guess so.
Nope, nothing. He's a guy. Runic. He's a director.
Is he the guy that does all the video game movies?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, fuck. Yui Ball?
Yeah, that's him. Yui Ball.
That guy, yeah, he did Far Cry and a bunch of the others. Yeah.
Oh man, he can laundry like That's right. He can save you some
With,
money.
with Uwe Ball, though, I'm pretty sure he's just too stupid to realize he's being used for money laundering. Because
Possibly. Well,
that-
the funny
that
thing is the
dude-
guy can actually box, though. That's the great part.
well, that's fine and all, but that doesn't make him any good at making
it's
movies.
just funny because he actually boxed somebody that was shitting on him.
Well, then he should have been a boxer instead of a filmmaker. Then.
Yeah, you think. Talks me for $5. Nick Weiser flavor number 30. Comics division's cock discharge frozen yogurt.
Is it fruit at the bottom or is it stirred?
I have something for you, Talks, as soon as I find it. There we go.
Oh, strong disagree.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Love you, Talks. All right. There's another one. Let me find it. I have to scroll all the way down because there's a lot of people talking. God damn it. There we go. Talks Man Flu for 5 American pesos. Division Ranch Charities number 7. Mad Mardigans Suckers Camp Anonymous. Helping pseudo hetero men cope with their inner feelings for over a decade.
Speaking of pseudo hetero, my girlfriend gets text and informed me that Dillard's is not high end. Dillard's, Macy's, Foley, etc., all kind of the same as Nordstrom is a little higher. It goes on and on about clothes. Who gives a shit? The joke stands.
Women
Is
care.
she watching the stream and texting
Women be
you?
shopping. Oh yeah. She's always commenting on.
That's fucking hilarious.
Corrects
KD for
me.
$5. George, your last video was art. Oh, he's not here. Fuck, I'll have to wait. I'll have to come
No,
back
you
to that
don't.
one.
We can skip it.
I'm so glad you made a channel. We'll come back to that one for George. Okay, now we're caught up. Talks to BFLU for $2. I got arrested for cosplaying Obama. Not sure why.
Mysteries abound.
Yeah, I know, man. That's a difficult one.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Indeed. All right. So what are you sharing here?
Well, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but after you break it down, each episode of the series will set the creators back by 10 million. So 80 million for episode for season 1. $80 million. They're trying to shove 3 books worth of content into an 8-episode first season. So
okay, so what they're saying on average, it's 10 million. So
that's pretty much what they spent on Discovery and Picard, though. So,
but look, okay, those shows actually look like they spent like those shows are terrible, like for all things. But at least the special effects
to
are
a point.
The
somewhat
production
worth
values
noting.
are okay, yeah.
Except for when it comes to like data and shit like that. But yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like there's no help for that. There's no help at all. But yeah, so you're talking 10 million, you're talking 80 million overall for season 1. It's an 8-episode series and they're trying to shove 3 books into it. If that tracks, there are 14 books. If you discount the companion novel and the prologue, it's actually a really good story. From what, like I said, I'm only through book 5. But there's 14 bricks. They're all really good from what I understand, and the series is great.
But like even the old show Legend of the Seeker from back in the day was smart enough to only adapt 1 book per season.
Oh yeah, no.
For those that don't remember Legend of the Seeker, it was an adaptation of Terry Goodkind's Sword of Truth novels, which honestly the TV series is better than the books it was inspired by. But that's not.
I guess that's up for debate, I suppose. But I'll find something else here in a second. But yeah, no, the thing is like the reason I feel that they are trying to like bum rush to the 3rd novel is because there's still a lot of like mystery buildup and everything everything is still falling into place and you have a lot of questions. But in the 3rd novel, a lot of stuff starts to get answered. And a lot of stuff starts making sense. And I have this nagging feeling that they're going to either make it where the 2 women who had power from this village are somehow going to be able to either become the Dragon Reborn together, or they're going to be able to help the Dragon Reborn become who he needs to be because he can't do it on his own. When you have the main actor, when you have Rand saying that he doesn't view like whatever his name, Stradowski or whatever, saying that he doesn't view Rand as a hero, one, he has clearly never read the books, and two,
Wow.
he has a fundamental misunderstanding of the character he is playing. Yes, he is a human. Yes, he is a sheep herder, but he already has these very heroic like, this is a place where people value hard work, honesty, basically like picking yourself up by your bootstraps. There is so much that is just destroyed by the way that they are handling this. And for the whole of episode 1, I thought they were going to make Egwene, who they cast as, she's the one that you see flipping her hair over. If you've seen any of the trailers, she's the black lady that keeps flipping her hair around her shoulder all the time and acting like
whip
it's
my hair back and forth.
pretty much. Yeah, she whips her hair back and forth. For the entire for episode 1, I was like, oh my god, they are telegraphing Egwene is going, or not Egwene, excuse me, Nynaeve is going to be she's going to be the Dragon Reborn. Like, they're totally telegraphing. But no, now I think it's going to be Egwene and Nynaeve, because now Nynaeve has taken on this role that is way different than the book. Like, it's just, my head hurts. My head hurts so much.
Don't stare too long into the abyss, or the abyss will gaze back into you. This is,
And I will be doing my episode breakdowns, but like, I only watched 5 minutes of episode 4, and I was like, I'm gonna go finish my other episodic reviews. But like, there's no good episodes, and like, these people are like, well, I really like it. Okay, that's on you. If you like it, good on you. Anybody that has read and appreciated the books for what they are hates this show for a reason. Like, I pointed out that the first 30 seconds is just a man-hating bash fest.
Well, that's
and
because
someone's like, well, the whole books are like, all of the books are like that. But the books are not like that. The context has been stripped away. So you learn about the breaking of the world and why the dragon did what he did and all of these horrific things that happened. And in the book, you realize that, he was manipulated and corrupted by the Dark One, didn't realize what he was doing, and this is why this became what it was and why he devolved into how he was. And then you find out that the Aes Sedai basically just sat on their freaking hands and were like, nah, you do you, we're going to do nothing and we're going to watch you fail, and then we're going to look like the good guys. Because as the stories evolved over time, it's like, oh, well, the Aes Sedai didn't break the world, right? Like, there's actually dialogue between Egwene and Moiraine in the book, and she's like, you guys didn't actually break the world, though, right? It was the men. The men did everything. And here's the thing. Aes Sedai can't lie, but they also don't have to be, like, they can withhold certain truths. So they can be like, so her answer, Moraine's answer is that it's very complicated, and I can't give you the answer that you're seeking, but there's more to it than what you know.
In other words, what I told you was true from a certain point of view.
Right.
Can
I offer up?
Trying to say something. Let him get something.
it was nothing important. It was just a stupid joke.
Oh, okay.
I was just
mine
going to
isn't
say
very
that that's because the industry is run by non-binary, tattooed, rainbow-haired, mullet-wearing fucking land whales. But yeah,
Frankfurt School.
It's true though, Tom.
I offer up
It is
a
true.
alternative to this show, something good. The mayor of Kingstown has been amazing 4 episodes in.
Never
I
heard
have
of it.
enjoyed the hell out of it. Jeremy Renner's other show that's on right now. It's on is it on Paramount? I'm pretty sure it's on Paramount. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it's on
And
Paramount. Yeah.
it's fucking legit. I found it because like somebody was complaining about Hawkeye and was like, he's only good when there's women to hold him up or whatever, some bullshit. But they happened to talk about this show and they're like, it's like some show that was like in 2003 and was went through time to get here in 2021. I'm like, 2003 was a good year. Let me check it out. And holy shit, it's a good fucking show.
Go figure. So
Right?
Naked Fame is saying, tell Lady Gravemaster not to continue the show. I got to episode 4. I'm done. The show is broken.
The show is broken. Like I said, I
Yeah.
only made it through 5 minutes of episode 4, and I still have to do my episode reviews. But it's there's no saving this show. Like it's nothing what Jordan would have envisioned. It's not his story. It doesn't even start out the same. They like when the showrunner is saying that they needed a reason for Perrin to hate violence outside of just being a gentle giant. Like he's just
Oh, they
characteristically
snidered it. Oh no.
like just characteristically he is averse to conflict, and he's just a very quiet, gentle giant. He's huge, but like he wouldn't hurt a fly.
Pacifism on principle. Have you heard of it?
Oh God, I'm just like they didn't want to take. They did what DC did. Like DC wanted what the MCU had, and so they bum rushed into the Justice League, and we got the travesty that has occurred. Because you had no build up for these other characters. You had a few individual films, but basically Justice League came out probably 10 years too soon.
Actually, right down to the same line of argument too, because that was Snyder's argument with regards to Man of Steel was we have to give Superman a reason to not want to kill people because otherwise he'll kill indiscriminately.
Yeah, no, I have issues with Snyder, but beyond that. But anyway, like what Amazon did is they basically in episode 1 they spent maybe 2 minutes introducing the different characters. You would get whiplash from how jarring the scenes are. You couldn't invest in anyone, and then characters who are nowhere in the book, especially not in book 1, get killed off, but you've had no time to like have any kind of attachment or investment to them because they were so desperate to get from the introduction to all of the action and all of the happening that they didn't build they did no world building, they did no character development, they did nothing that supported what the emotions they were trying to evoke from you were. And so Amazon is trying to shotgun the effect of Wheel of Time, and it's not going to work. You can't fast forward 10 years into the future for what these kids are supposed to be and then expect to have the same outcome. It doesn't
this
work.
Is funny. Dan Hans keeps saying, wait, like Star Trek? Wait, like Doctor Who? Like Transformers?
Like all of it.
Like of all the things that we used to love.
I'm telling you,
like
the only thing we have left is Dresden Files.
Yep.
No, that's why I do my nostalgia streams on Thursdays now, and I just talk about stuff that I love because there's so much. I said it earlier tonight on my stream where there's so much good to be had. There's so many previous movies that so many people haven't seen. You are not locked into viewing only what comes out in the past 2 or 3 years. You have the ability to go back and watch movies from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and enjoy the escapism and the scenery and the settings and the acting and good storytelling.
And the same thing is true of every other medium as well. You know, read some Golden Age comics. Why don't you read some pulp novels? Yada yada.
Yeah.
With that said, though, there is still good stuff being made current day.
Yes.
It's just a little harder to find.
Yes.
George, are you back yet?
Yeah. Did you see his super chat?
I did. It's like, George, you're on the panel. Come on, dude.
No. He's better off in the chat. He can stay there.
You shut up, Mad. No, but I think so. I actually put this. I can't remember which episode review it's in, but essentially, what is happening is the reason that people are rejecting this is it's not because of anything that leftists are saying, and I don't think that anybody really who has stated it so far has really hit the nail on the head. But what is happening is that they are taking, because they know that this agenda can't pass muster on its own. Like they can't make a story based solely on this ideology or this agenda. Like it simply will not hold. So what
it's anti-art.
Yes. So what they have to do is they have to take they have to corrupt something that already exists, that's already loved.
Yep.
And so then people feel cheated. And so what happens is when you go in to watch a Ghostbusters film or a Die Hard film or a James Bond film and you're expecting what you'd always gotten before.
Hang on, George. Say something so your mic can settle back out.
Hello.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Way to make an entrance.
You're welcome,
George.
Hey, with a bang or a scratch.
Are you're not going to sing, man?
Which is funny because there was a super chat one I read earlier. It's like, oh, wait for George to come back. It says Nate D for $5. George, your last video was art. I'm so glad you made a channel.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. And if you want, please go subscribe because YouTube last week clipped from me 120 subscribers. They haven't replaced him yet. Put him
Really?
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
too
really,
Get used to it, George. Get used to
And it's a Gungan says, longest shit ever, George.
thanks.
I get it. It's
appreciate you
it's
too.
the amphetamines.
He had some
Did
Taco
you have
Bell.
a clinger, George? That's the reason why you couldn't get it out. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nobody
as
wants to
as
know
riveting as this
that.
conversation about shit has been,
It's
Lady G was trying to
obvious
say something.
cocaine.
Oh yeah. No.
No, I just mean what people are truly angry about is that what their expectations are not being, like, I know that they love to say that we're subverting your expectations, but that's not what's happening. You're flat out being lied to. And here's the thing. A lot of people actually like being lied to when they buy into the lie and they want that lie to be fed to them.
Yeah,
Because
especially when they pay for it usually, and it feels
Yeah.
good. It's not something that they turn around and beat you over the head with.
Yeah. So the thing is, people are not buying into these lies. People, and it's fewer and fewer people are buying into these lies. And Hollywood, just like it always does, is going to react way too slowly. But you're telling these people that what they see and what they hear and what they feel, after you said that everybody matters, all your feelings are relevant.
Except you invalid people with your
we
invalid
care- yeah,
opinions.
we care
Mhm.
about everybody because everyone matters, and then it's okay.
Except
well,
you.
Yeah, but I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, and I'm feeling this, and now you're the bigot, you're the liar, you're the one with the problem. So not only have they stripped and mutilated what it is that you love, they've
Mhm.
told you that it's your fault that it became that way.
Oh yeah,
And then they call you a supremacist if you have a problem with the original lore or why you loved it. or
That,
believed
that,
it.
that desire you have to have the things you love be respected and validated, that makes you an immoral person.
Yeah,
Go away.
you're a misogynist or this or
Right.
that. Yeah.
What's great is they put you in a box. What they'll do is
Yep.
like, you have two choices: white supremacist or good guy. And you're like, so if I hate your film, I'm a white supremacist. If I like your film, I'm a good guy. You're like, yeah, that's where you go. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's not that
So-
hard, George, to understand. It's easy. You either like it or you're a horrible person.
Come on,
You're
so
moral.
Kevin
You
Smith
could
and
be a
him went to
horrible
the same
person who
school.
didn't like it.
Well, the funny thing is, I just love how they try to use moral blackmail to get people to like
Right.
shitty TV shows and movies.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Because
it bothers
remember
me
their
That's
that-
all
ideology
this is, right? We're
comics.
talking about movies, and they're acting it like we fucking killed Jesus or something.
Right.
E-
That was
Everything
great
is
with
a
the
means to an
Eternals.
end. Therefore, if you sin against our art, you sin
Right.
against our ideas. And if you sin against our ideas, that makes you a bad person. Therefore,
when
sinning
they-
against our art is a bad person.
They did they did that classically though, comics. They did it with Eternals. Do you remember those press junkets that the actors were doing, and then on the red carpet, you had that one guy. I put it in my video where he's sitting there and he's talking to the reporter, and he's like, "This movie is going to save lives." I'm like, "What kind
my
of crack
God.
are you smoking?" It's a movie.
It already
Oh, you mean that
killed
movie
Jack
that's
Kirby
not gonna air
again.
in the Middle East is going to save lives there?
but
No, it's
let's
not.
say it's the greatest film ever made, where everybody on the planet Earth loves it. It's not going to save any lives. It might inspire people, it might move them, but the way that they said it, he was sitting there. I'm serious. It's going to save. That's still like cracks me up.
It's because you see the same thing in religion as well. It's why so many people refer to this whole CRT type thing as a non-theistic religion, is because their ideology is so intertwined with how they identify as a person. An attack on those ideals is an attack on themselves. You see it a lot in religion with the very fundamentalist, followers, right? If you attack their religion, you're attacking them rather than having their ideals separated from who they are as a
and
person.
moreover, if you do anything good, then you did it in the name of our religion, even if you explicitly tell us you didn't do it in the name of our religion because we
All
say
right.
so.
Real quick, I know that Lady Gravemaster needs to bounce.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
It's all right.
No,
I'm
thank you.
sorry, guys. This was fun though. I had
Yeah,
a
yeah.
blast. So long story short, yes, I have episode reviews coming. I realize that episode 5 drops tomorrow. This has just been like, they're probably all 5 of them are probably going to come out on Saturday because this has just been an absolute crap fest of a show. My recommendation is run far, run fast, read the books, enjoy the books. They're extremely immersive. The world building is on par with Tolkien. Like, that is how good this is. So
Really?
definitely, yes, check out
I'm
the
gonna
book.
hold you to that.
Yep, go ahead, hold it to me.
As
Hold me
good
to
as
it.
Tolkien? Okay, I'll check
On
it
par
out.
with Tolkien, yes.
Okay.
So it's the world building is just surreal. The imagery is fantastic. The books are incredible. Don't waste your time with the show. I think that if anything else, like I said, go back, find stuff you love, find new stuff that's similar to it, and enjoy yourself. This is supposed to be escapism. You're not supposed to feel miserable 24/7.
Right. Absolutely.
So, like, check out everybody on the panel. All these guys are great except Mads. And make
Wow.
and make
Veteran to veteran, man.
I know. It's
That
not,
would be
if I'm not
that
ribbing you
violence.
mad, then you know I don't like you. But no, for real, give all of these guys a sub. They're fantastic. They're actually pretty smart, regardless of what some people would like to say.
Yeah.
And
Except
they're
man.
funny. This is good. This is good entertainment, and it's always great to see everybody in chat talking as well, because
Oh yeah.
you guys are literally, I don't know if you guys realize how much power you actually have. Because there's only so much they can do before your money dries up. And that's going to be happening sooner rather than later, especially if they stay on this track. So
Hopefully.
much
Yeah.
love to you all. Thank you so much
Much
for having me
love.
on tonight, Comics.
Oh, you're welcome. And
Bye,
we'll-
Lady
Wow,
G.
thank you.
Don't get used to it.
Okay.
No ticket.
That's I always love that one.
I love that.
Mads,
So
don't get
that-
used to it.
Mads is right about the fact that Mads was right about the fact that they basically, we should always treat it that way. They've treated it like a religion. I mean, that's the only
They
thing
do,
that,
yeah.
that would be the only thing that would explain their continuous zealotry. There's
Well, the
nothing-
funny thing is, like, it's the idea that their idea is to find them as who they are.
right.
It's like, my ideas are my ideas. They don't fucking. It's not who I am. It's,
You know,
it's just a part of me.
There's something that I was talking about yesterday, and it was in the video that I actually made, which was for about Benedict Cumberbatch, but it actually applies to this. I discovered it while listening to 3 different people last weekend, and in 3 separate conversations, one at a coffee shop, one at a restaurant, and one at a family's dinner. And they're liberal, but more liberal, left-leaning, okay, more like Marxists. So what I realized that any one of them could have been replaced with anyone else who had that ideology. And I'm sitting here. And
Well,
I'm
yeah,
thinking-
but remember what's at the core.
I know,
Remember
one
what's at the
second.
core of their ideology.
I know,
is
but that's not
tabula
what I'm going.
rasa.
Right, but I'm not talking about even leftists. What I realized was that any extreme ideology, the person loses that unique quality that makes them themselves. Like they didn't take it and synthesize what they were talking about.
Yeah, I'm not me anymore. I'm just an avatar of my
Right.
ideas.
And I told him, I said, you realize you've stripped any identity that who are you? Because I said I could be sitting here talking to anyone else and they would have the same beliefs and they would say the same shit. Like you've removed your identity. And that's what they don't realize. Whether it's Seth Rogen or Kevin Smith or Sarah Silverman, they just sound the same. I mean, everything they create has lost its that special quality.
Yeah, and I think I haven't seen a better example than that trailer for that Santa Claus thing that's coming on HBO, where like they make this joke that they've all made so many times in movies when he's like, erase my porn. Like, no, that's not the joke, dumbass, is erase my browser history. How do you fuck up that joke?
Well, in the actual show, show, you know what he says? Because you're right. That was it. He goes, erase my porn. He's going away. He goes, and look, it's next to the little sticky note that says IRS. It's like for the code to get on his. Like he continues going on. It falls flatter than what's in the trailer.
Oh wow, they made it
Wait,
worse.
That's
than
an
what
extended scene.
It is. It's an that
Why?
trailer, he keeps going on about like, yeah, check the sticky note. Check the sticky note.
Merciful freaking Hecate. Why?
So Toxic Influ says, did comics just hit a woman off the board?
I know someone's gonna
Yes,
say
I did.
that.
Yes, I have been a good influence. I've been a very good
I was
influence.
I was gonna say when you did that, I was like, I wonder, is someone gonna say something about he's gonna use that?
Of course.
somebody's
It's
always
talking to man flu. And Larry says, overall in YouTube, most non-super chats are ignored during a stream. My observation, not always the case, man. Especially when there's a lot of talking going on. Sometimes it's hard to get not just to super chats, but to regular chats as well.
Yeah, it's a balance because like you don't want to disrupt the flow. Because I'll tell you this, like if I'm gonna watch the stream, which if I'm not on it, I probably won't. But let's say hypothetically, I am gonna watch the stream, and like they're just reading chats or whatever. I'm out. I didn't come, especially if there was a topic I was interested in hearing about.
Thank you so much for being a good supporter.
Yeah,
man.
at that point, it's not content.
Yeah.
Come
on my channel.
I understand mostly observation. I think that's a fair comment, but at the same time, it's even hard to get super chats in because you don't want to disrupt the flow of the chat.
Right.
Oh yeah, even
It is difficult.
Channel, it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
When you have a good group of people having a great conversation, everyone's just rattling off. You don't want to. It's hard to interrupt. But the chat
it's a fine balance because the funny thing about it is that I don't want to disrupt the flow of the conversation that we're having, but at the same time, I don't want to piss off the people who are super chatting me because they obviously want their super chats read. And
absolutely,
it's trying to find that balance.
That's one of the things I've been worried about when I do my first stream. How do you determine that, Comics? The balance. Is just something go by feel, or do you put a time on it? Or you don't put a time on it, like every 5 minutes or 15 minutes? I'm gonna.
I don't know. I think that we should probably do something like maybe like every 15 minutes address a couple.
Yeah.
Or every 30. I don't know. It's
that's
trying,
what
like
I
said,
started to do.
Where's Bat Tom? Where's
fuck up
Bat
what we're
Tom? I miss Bat Tom. I haven't seen him.
I guess Tom had the
Lady
drop.
Gravemaster left, so he was like all the cool people went.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
there he
didn't
is.
see anything.
I had questions for him.
By the real quick, like there's some channels that they have a cap limit. Like
what do you mean?
They won't read anything that's under $20, and it's not because they don't appreciate the others. It's because they're so big and they get so many super chats. If they tried to read them all, they would have to do like EFAP and have a whole show that I never watched. Where all they do is like read super chats.
Yeah, look at Tim Pool, man. That dude can't fucking address every super chat. In the 2 hour period with the amount of super chats that dude gets. Yeah.
Well, what
Gary has
he's sitting on what 3 million subscribers now. So yeah, I mean all told. So yeah, he's not gonna be able to get to everything.
I do the absolute opposite. I only cover 1 super chat per show. The entire show, just 1 super chat.
I haven't watched the stuff lately. I have no idea what's going on.
Your Carmen impression is impeccable, sir.
I had a question for Bat Tom. What does he think about Kevin Smith and saying that Batman always wears a mask? Because I see right now, Bat Tom, that you're not wearing a mask. So
I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah, what are you talking about, George?
His mask, his virus mask. He's not wearing a mask.
Oh, because he's fucking Batman. That would be like Superman wearing. That would be like Superman wearing a mask. Nobody knew that's the mask he was talking about.
Yeah, they.
I want to get him to comment
they made
on Kevin
Superman
Smith.
wear a mask in a recent issue.
That's what I want.
First of all, Kevin is stupid.
Okay.
Because he says, like, this is what Batman means. No, I literally don't wear anything on one part of my body, and that is my mouth. If I put one of those stupid things on, I wouldn't be able to fucking breathe.
Here's another question. When you go on to YouTube shows, do you wear any bottoms or is it just all top?
Next question.
I already know that one.
So, what do you wear? Bat boxers, bat briefs, or bat speedo?
Well, the bat symbol is pretty popular, so I can get pretty much anything, and it works with my outfit. So it just depends on my mood. But I'm really into JAMA pants.
Yeah, by the way, this is Bateman this is New Zealand Bateman. Oh yeah, we're cousins. I don't wear the underwear. I wear the skin of a quokkas.
Who the hell?
You don't sound like you're from New Zealand. I think you're impersonating.
No, meat. I'm definitely from England. This is the most I talk in
What are
this
you,
accent.
Speedy
It gets a little
Gonzalez's
rough.
New Zealand cousin or some shit? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't
Tom's
think
attempt
you
to
know
be
who
Batman
Speedy
sounds more like
Gonzalez
Eric
is.
Cartman, and your attempt to be Australian sounds more like
Yeah,
East European.
meat. You need to pay attention. I said New Zealand. You fuck. Jesus.
Yeah,
If you're gonna insult
and
me,
yet
at least pay
you sound like
attention.
you're from Romania instead of New Zealand.
I don't think you know what
This
Romania
isn't my
is.
real voice. of course.
Yeah, this is me. Yeah, I don't do a Beatman voice like that. That Kristen Bale.
I do.
Bale.
Yeah, but that's a
And
good
now
voice.
you crossed over into Swedish territory. You're not even anywhere near.
Yeah, you
You're not
gotta.
even
You gotta.
anywhere near the part of the planet you're aiming
Boy,
at there, dude.
You're really honing in on these accents.
If I
And
didn't
now
do
we're
this
back
with
to
my
Canadian.
voice, you'd know I was Bruce Wayne. I mean, never mind. Forget what I just said.
You still sound more like Cartman than you do Batman.
Hey, can you, Tom? Can you ever do the Christian Bale voice? You know, I'm Batman.
Ain't it wearing hickey peds?
I'm trying to ignore you, New Zealand Bat.
Where were the other trucks going?
Where from New Zealand have you ever heard anyone that sounds that Swedish?
Yeah, he can.
Wow, that did feel flat.
It would never do it. It would never should have done.
I don't know, man. If you ever watch What We Do in the Dark, he's kind of captured a little bit of it. I mean, it's still bad, but he's definitely got, I think, some of the inflection and tone right.
What we do in the shadows.
To hear him offer a hot piece of pea.
No, what we do in the shadows. The Takawakiki show. He's my
Takawakiki?
cousin.
He's
Yeah,
your cousin.
Takawakiki. He's my cousin.
How a titty?
He's from New Zealand, I think.
Yeah, he is.
If he's your cousin, you don't know where the hell he's from.
Yeah, we don't talk much.
What the hell was that?
But it's New Zealand.
What is that?
Even at New
That
Zealand,
part I
you're
actually
getting
understand what he's
Swedish out of it.
saying.
Keep switching accents.
Are you like half Welsh, half Nigerian, and half New Zealand?
Multiple
Focus-
personality accents.
Focus on my weeds. Focus on my weeds.
We
And
what
there-
are you,
and now
what are
he's
you like
Canadian
Cheech
again.
and Chong right now?
This Reese's. That's Reese's.
Yeah, you're Canadian.
I'm really fucking confused.
Yeah, me too.
Which is hard to do because I'm the world's greatest detective.
Oh, good.
Still
I'm
more
the third.
Cartman
I'm the
than
third
Batman, but okay.
detective on New Zealand. It's an alien.
I'm slowly trying to buy that. Okay. Yeah, I'm
Don't
working
buy
on
it.
it.
Thank you, George.
Well then, the John Beck for $2. Wow, it's been a while, John Beck. LOL. They tried to copy. Trying to figure what.
Game of Thrones season 6 through 8. That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Instead of Game of Thrones season 1 through 4. Okay. I was like, for some reason that it was translating in my head Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
It's like,
Grant, no,
I get that. Yeah.
that's GTA though. That's GTA.
it's GTA. Yeah.
And of course, George, you're back just in time for your own
Hail,
super chat.
brother.
All hail the amazing panel. Hail Comics, Walton, Authenticator, Tom, Lady G, Jed, and Mads. And you left yourself out, George, because you're on this
Wow.
panel too.
Damn.
That's the best decision you've made all night.
Wow.
I included you. Next time I won't include you.
George is the
Yeah.
show. He is the show.
All right, Mr. Tickle Trunk for $5 Maple Leaf dollars. Thanks, Lady Gravemaster. I'm confused, but you sound into it. I now know what it's like to date me when I go on a date. When I go on and on about Babylon 5 to my ex. Okay.
Yeah,
Babylon 5 is awesome.
To your ex.
Babylon
Yeah,
5 is
I'll
awesome.
date you.
God,
Babylon
God
5 is
speak easy.
fantastic.
I still
Mags.
have a hard time getting through the first 6 episodes. Everyone keeps saying I want to. I just haven't been able
Oh,
to
you want
dude,
the
you
original B5,
fucking
George?
have to get through it, man.
Yeah,
It's,
get
good. It's
through it.
great.
After you
Okay.
get through the first season, you'll love it.
Okay, I'm pushing through.
It's good.
Good man, good man.
Mags for $5. This is why I retreat back to some old 90s games and old movies like Casablanca and Gone with the Wind just to wash clean my good entertainment.
Right.
With good entertainment. Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
Max has Terra from Final Fantasy on. Is there
Cool.
icon? That's awesome. Yeah.
Is Mags related to Mad? So it's Mads and Mags. I'm
Don't do that to
sorry.
Mags.
I'm sorry if that Mags. I'm just curious because
Don't do that. Mags has had great comments all night.
she has.
Yeah.
Matt just slaps his lips.
Yeah, he
she
just flaps them.
Salty Texas for $5. Wheel time, 33K views, and a 39,000% increase in subs.
Wow.
Read the Wheel of the World.
The Eye of the World.
Sorry, read the Eye of the World. Yeah. I don't know why the fuck I said that.
Okay.
I have not read Wheel of Time, but people that I talk to that have love it. Like it's got a really strong fandom. So it's a shame to see that they're not getting what they wanted.
Yeah.
Just like many of us over the last several
Right.
years.
I don't
it
agree.
seems, it seems like there's not a single thing left that the termites haven't touched.
Oh, you mean like Masters of the Universe, like Soy Boy Kevin Smith fucked it up, So.
Right, but what worries me is they like Lady Gravemaster was talking about. They got the money, right? What the hell did they do with it? I mean, when she was
It's
showing
money
us, like,
laundering. That's all it is.
They
It's
put
money
it. They put
laundering.
it somewhere other than on screen, which is fucking irritating.
People were
And
getting
that-
paid for the message.
Oh
Right,
God,
but
this
Yeah.
talk about how desperate things are. This is great. From It's a Gungan. I watched fucking You Got Mail with Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, and I loved it simply because it wasn't woke.
Oh dear.
That's where we're at. That's where
How
we've
far
gotten
they
to.
might have fallen.
Yeah, that's fucking that's
And
hilarious.
When you watch
terrifies me.
Sleepless in Seattle, then you're like, hey, or like,
It terrifies me about what they're
Watch,
going to do.
watch
with Lord of the
Kate and
Rings.
Leopold instead. That one at least has Hugh Jackman in it.
Thank God it hasn't gotten
Yeah.
to porn.
That's kind of like the time I had to.
oh, it's gonna get there sooner or later.
Don't
You
say
said-
that,
you said
Jed.
thankfully, it hasn't gotten to porn. We talked
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
They actually have feminist porn out there. It's
I mean,
not
they can do
popular,
that.
but it exists.
They can
What
have
the-
that,
what the
but it
hell
hasn't
is
taken
that?
over? Like we still have good porn.
What the hell is feminist porn? Where they beat the
It's
hell
called
out of
The
As
people?
long
Handmaid's
as we
Tale.
have
It's
Axel
existed since
Braun, we
Margaret
are
Atwood wrote
safe.
it.
Axel
Wait, we
Braun
have the
is our
Godfather.
savior.
The Godfather's trying to talk.
No,
Hold on.
there's actually a brand of porn out there that is feminist porn.
and that's
And,
where.
and we're not talking about Handmaid's Tale type of porn.
Are you talking like where they? What I read like 3 years ago in the New York Times, where someone was like, "Yeah, she goes out." So her husband basically like is at home with the kids, and she goes out, grabs a boyfriend, brings him back, and then
No, that's cuckold. I think he's talking about pegging.
Oh, Matt would know
Gotcha.
about pegging, so
Damn.
Man. What? Oh no, I'm not. I was not listening to any of y'all shit.
Did you just? Was that because?
No,
you
it's because
pegged?
of
Watching
you,
porn.
George.
Is that because you just got pegged?
No,
Man,
what?
no.
What? Do you know how that works? I'm just sitting. No, man, it's still your fault though, George. Even my girlfriend's like, this is what my girlfriend texts me. She goes, I think you may need to sprinkle in a super nice thing about George every once in a while.
Well, that's
He is
good.
too nice for you to have him as your fake nemesis all the time. Nothing fake about it.
That's a power bottom.
I was surprised. You wrote a great tweet earlier today.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. I was like, wow, that's awesome. It was
Whatever.
very kind of you. Yeah.
Well, you're my real nemesis now. That's right.
The Godfather had to say, we just saw him for a second. He disappeared.
I love Yeticast. He says his chair has a built-in peg.
No, ignore that hoe. Yeti cast mother.
Yeti.
Yeti
Talking
does amazing-
non-shit.
Yeti does amazing videos.
On what?
His videos. Have you ever seen his
No.
videos?
Oh
they're
God,
amazing.
no! I'm not even subscribed. By the way, you can check out Yeticast. He's on my channel like every Wednesday and Saturday.
That's good.
Max
Yeti
is
Cast
like
is
full
awesome.
king. Like,
What?
All right. So Mag
Mag.
says, yep, Terra Brando, Final Fantasy VI was Final Fantasy 3 at first.
mhm.
Was Final Fantasy 3 at first in US my favorite
Yeah, it
Final
was.
Fantasy game? And George, LOL. I get that all the
That's
time. No offense taken.
Okay, good. I'm glad you weren't offended, because most people would be if they were related to me. But it's okay.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like Mads either. I don't want.
But I will have to say he has one good characteristic. He was a veteran. and he got burned.
It's
So
not
I
a
will-
characteristic, motherfucker.
Well, I was going to say after I finished, but he was kind of dumb because he got burned. So we don't. we know.
It was my whatever.
You probably got in the way, of somebody else.
Damn.
Let's not forget George what his favorite song is. That Girl's on Fire. So
I've never heard that song.
This is hilarious because this guy spammed this to me 3 times, which I find absolutely hilarious. So he says, Seth Rogen sent me to ask you to stop being anti-Semitic white supremacist. If you don't like his films, you are an automatic anti-Semite, excuse me. Which is funny considering, George is Jewish and so is my wife. So apparently I'm a terrible anti-Semite.
Well, it's a little bit like those Hispanic Nazi friends of yours from college there, Colin.
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
It doesn't matter what minority group you belong to. If you don't like this film or TV show, and you don't have this opinion, then you're a supremacist.
Yeah,
Right.
because fundamentally they don't actually care about the people that comprise the identity. They only care
they
about
don't
the
have,
identity.
right, and they don't have an argument at all.
You know what's funny is if any of those fuckers actually met real white supremacists from like the 30s,
They
would
would
probably,
shit
they would
themselves.
shit
Oh, I
themselves.
know. Yeah.
You know what would be funny if any of
Or
this,
they'd actually probably get along because their
I just
philosophies
have
are
to
very
fuck with you
similar.
considering you spammed it to me 3 times.
I'm being
No, I'm not.
sarcastic,
What
bro. I'm being sarcastic,
Wait.
bro.
listen, I grew up in East Texas, hour away from Casper, Texas. I have
Oh,
never
God.
met a white supremacist in my life. Like not a legit one. You know what I mean? But they're everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Statistically,
there's some
for
parts where there are actually a lot of.
I used to hear about Vider, and I drove through
Same
there.
here.
I never saw it.
I've always heard about it. So real quick, I know that Tom needs to bounce. So, and we're not going to go for much longer. So Tom, if you want to go ahead and make your exit, you're more than welcome to.
All right. Well, hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you on the flip side.
And remember, say fuck Kevin Smith too. So
Yeah.
Jill?
Have a great night, Tom.
Did he already leave?
Bye,
drops out.
Tom.
Night,
Man, you
Tom.
guys-
Tom.
I didn't even get to do the whole thing where I tell him I'm available every time he streams.
That's because he doesn't love you.
That's
Yeah,
true.
he doesn't want you to be over there. So.
It's because New Zealand Batman is
Way more
better.
popular. Yeah.
You
Way
know
more
what's funny,
popular,
Matt? Even I've been over there. So.
Why is that funny?
Oh God, this is funny. Mags for $5. Most people see my name and think Mags Visaggio.
Yeah, that's exactly where my brain
What
was
the
going.
fuck is
Thank
Max
God, I'm not the
Fasazio?
That's
only
not
one
who
did
you
that.
are.
What's Max
Yeah.
Fasazio?
Mags
She's
Visaggio
she's a writer for Marvel Comics, or she was. for a
Mhm.
bit.
is a trans comic writer, because we all know she wants to be known for being trans and in
So
comics.
she's a real woman.
Yeah,
That's what
because
you're
the only story she can write is about gender dysphoria.
Yes.
She can't
Mhm.
ever
It's
write
true.
about any characters that aren't that.
Yeah. She's a trash writer.
Jesus.
Oh,
And-
she's
and-
studying
He likes
great.
to the
And-
comic
and the
level?
funny thing too is she wrote this comic. It got onto Sci-Fi, but apparently the show sucks so bad. It didn't even make it through the full season, I believe.
Is she pseudoconic level bad or worse?
Oh God. I would say as much as Kelly Sue DeConnick's content is terrible, she's at least a competent writer.
Okay.
where-
Well,
I-
that's objective. That's objective.
I'll be
No,
honest. I'll be honest with you. I haven't read either one of them.
Okay.
She's probably
I read the
she's
one.
probably Ta-Nehisi Coates level bad to give you a point of reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have no way to base. That's why I was okay. Good.
Yeah, we shouldn't hate on somebody because they're hired because of how they identify and not creativity. All right, that's wrong. It's wrong.
No, we should hate them because they have no merits.
Right.
No, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. You're being a
Yeah.
bigot.
Yet he was like, it was canceled before episode 3. Yeah.
So she
Wow.
clarifies,
I
"I'm
will,
a
I will
Margaret,
keep
she's
my
a Magdalene,"
meritocracy-based bigotry. Thank you very much.
or whatever. Ugh. Better than Max anyway.
Yeti just said she's worse. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
How
trust
worse?
Yeti.
Yeah.
I do not trust Yeti.
No,
No, really?
Yeti's a
Yeti.
good
No.
guy. Yeti's a good guy.
What?
He's an honest dude.
He's Canadian.
So what you're saying is we should blame
Wow.
Canada. Shame on Canada.
Wow.
I would. Hey, whatever happened to the other Canadian who would always be here? I always loved him. He's a great guy. Just forgot his name. Bako? No.
There's a bunch of them. I don't know.
Oh
which
man, I can really see the love you had for him.
one. Yeah.
It's been a
He's
long
like,
day.
whatever that other
Great
Canadian
memory,
guy.
No, it'll pop in my head in a second.
We'll
Soul
all
of an
sit here and
angel,
wait.
but has a shit memory. So you know.
I should have a great memory, but when I get busy, yeah, no. Anyway, why did Tom leave so early?
I don't
He
know.
hates us.
He's probably tired.
Yeah,
He was
doesn't
trying to
hate
get
us. He
away
loves
from
us.
Mad, so you know.
Mad, yeah, because he kept interrupting when you had the Godfather here, and he just kept
comics-
talking and talking.
You may want to watch the
Tom doesn't
replay there,
sleep.
George.
Why do you keep? See, you did it again. Somebody else was talking. You just interrupt.
Oh, do not act like I
There
am the
you go
one.
again. See, right?
That's because you keep talking whenever you
talking. See, you did it again.
I'm not falling for your
That's
games,
it.
George.
See,
Not falling for this.
Just did it again. One more time. Trying to finish his sentence. Up, there it is.
Are we done, George? Jeez.
Poor Mads. He gets
You
no
know as
respect.
well
But
as
he brings
we
it
all
on.
No
know
Sorry.
it will
respect.
be
No
over.
respect.
You remind me of Rodney Dangerfield. No respect. No respect. He made
I
a
think he
career
got
out of
more.
that.
I like Ladybugs. Was that the movie?
Ladybugs
I'm
is
sure.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Where he had
Yeah.
the dude that I don't think it was his like nephew or anything. I think it was just some random kid he had
It
dressed
was
up like a
just some
chick.
random ass kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to play soccer for his team.
Yeah.
Why was
Because
he
he
even
was a
coaching that
good
team? That's a
soccer
weird
player.
movie. That's a weird movie thinking back. Like
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know
thinking-
what connection he had with anyone.
You're
Oh,
thinking
it
too
was
far
a
into
black chick. It was the black chick and Rodney Dangerfield had to do the thing because I watched
Yeah.
that when I was a kid.
Wasn't that black chicken hanging with Mr. Cooper? Mr.
Yeah.
Cooper. Yeah.
So
Which was that Rodney Dangerfield film? His first big comedy where he like smoked.
Back in school.
No, but it was one right before that where he inherited all the money, but like his mother-in-law had said,
God.
you have to get healthy, you can't drink, you can't do. He had to hide all that shit to collect all the money.
I remember what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of that.
I don't remember the name of it. Let me look up.
I haven't
Rodney
seen it in
Dangerfield.
forever.
You know
Yeah,
what
look
I'm
it up,
talking?
Matt. Thanks.
Because that was
Hey,
hilarious. His friends.
you
would-
see what
he'd go
Yeti
to-
said about Matt?
No.
If Matt finishes his sentences like Joe Biden, and you know the thing,
By the way, quick update, George. My girlfriend has rescinded her last comment. You are now hated by this whole place, this whole household,
Oh.
and by proxy, that means comics.
Plague on your house.
Yeah, because basically my girl,
That's his name. I knew it'd pop in my head. Sorry.
What was it?
basically my
Vesco,
girlfriend and I, we have
Vesco?
moved into a treehouse
What?
outside of
Outside of
comics.
comics is
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll figure
Comics,
it
you
out.
might want to look outside your window. This guy's in the tree outside.
Oh, that I
Yeah.
thought that was the part where comics had the treehouse and the little well next to it. So
Oh,
they
this
could
is gonna
have
be a bad
water.
joke.
Yeah.
That's a shame, Matt.
Oh, you talk about Easy Money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Easy money. Yes.
that's right. Jeez, that was
Wow.
83.
God, I wonder if they even have the trailer anymore.
Oh, I thought you were still trying to think of the Canadian that was
The
on the
Canadian
show.
already
guy is
figured it out?
Besco. I figured it. I did. Besco.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
You remember Besco?
The Basco scenario. You're talking about Gascar.
Besco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
he's a
like,
good dude.
yeah, that
Because
Canadian.
he's a great Canadian.
Yeah, he is.
What was the Rodney
Damn, I didn't
Dangerfield
realize
movie?
that. Holy
There
shit!
is such a thing.
Rodney Dangerfield made movies till 2008.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
And the one where he was a talk show person. That one.
Wait
was
a
hilarious.
second. How did he make something in 2008 when he died?
It was
in-
probably
It
released.
was filmed.
Yeah, they must-
It was
they must have
probably
reused footage
released
or
post-
something.
Yeah.
posthumously.
It was
Yeah,
probably just
Probably
filmed
yeah,
before.
filmed it. Yeah.
yeah.
That's how I would do it if I was planning out my death.
If
It's
you were
it's
planning
how
on it?
it's how the Imaginary of Dr. Parnassus came out, even though Heath Ledger died in between Joker and it.
Right.
Yeah, but this is like 4 years later.
Well, maybe it was in a can.
Development
Editing
hell.
process.
Yeah, the Orion movie. Never heard of that.
Neither did I.
Yeah, his
nobody
last
did.
film what was that? But before that was Angels with Angels.
Never
He
heard
played
of that
God.
either.
Angels?
Yeah.
I don't
Angels
remember
with
that.
Rodney Dangerfield played God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll accept
Yeah,
that.
he did.
I need to watch this movie now. This needs to be seen. Open the eyes.
All right, folks. It's we're getting about ready to hit the witching hour here in Central Time. So we'll make the round starting with the tree lover himself. Stephen
Real
Waller.
quick before he goes into his diatribe of nothing. Comics, I thought the witching hour was 4 a.m.
Technically, it's 3 a.m.
No.
Oh,
3 is
3
the
sorry,
demonic
3 a.m.
witching hour.
Unless you
Midnight is
could.
the
Hour of the Wolf.
white magic witching hour, basically.
Okay, go ahead, Walton. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Well, you could always talk with.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
So,
Please
some
subscribe to
dudes?
everybody on the panel. Look out for each other. Be good to each other. Make sure to support your favorite 2 or 3 YouTubers and share out links and support
Wash your
independent
hands.
creators. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Be good to each other. Peace.
I mean, you can support more than 2 or 3. My God, I'm subscribed to like 190.
None of them are mad. Make sure none of them are mad.
Yeah, just
Thank
be
you.
mad off.
Thank you. It's always great being here. Love the chat. All of y'all have been amazing tonight, like y'all are every week. Please check out everyone. Go subscribe to everyone and Mads. He's a really good guy, even though he's an ass sometimes. Wash your hands. No, that's not me. That's cultures. Do whatever the hell you want. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Go check out my video on toxic masculinity and subscribe because YouTube has been canceling my subs. It's really pissing me off. And I love you.
They,
all.
they
All right.
know you got shifted with the rest of us now, George. So have fun. So like,
Yeah, I'm gonna correct it.
yeah.
Thank you. Now it's on
All
the
right. Dalton, you're up next.
Alrighty. Hi, folks. I am Dalton Mortimer. I am the Authenticator. My channel is the Authenticator here on YouTube. I am weird professionally. Professionally weird is, I guess, the best way to describe myself. I do videos where I talk about philosophy and pop culture and magic and the occult and art and politics and all of the above. And I do shows and podcasts and things on various different channels, the most consistent of which being the podcast of the Storm, which I do with my friend the Brainstormer of Pop Culture every Sunday. We talk about geek culture and politics and all of the adjacent things there too. And I also do a bi-weekly podcast with my friend Mr. E2099 called The Duality of Man, where we discuss men's rights and men's issues. So if that seems like something you're interested in, also find your way over there. Also, when my insomnia gets the better of me, which is basically all the time, to make sure that I still have content on my channel, I have started doing I have started doing song covers. So if hearing me sing seems like something you might be interested in, that would also be something you can do. Please do, if you subscribe though, actually watch the content because it's really, really disheartening when people subscribe and then you don't see any increased viewership. And it's just like, well, why bother subscribing then if you're not actually going to watch the content? You can find me on Twitter at The Authenticator, spelled without a U because Twitter is stupid and won't give me enough characters. And you can find me just about everywhere else on the internet at The Authenticator, spelled normally. Cheers, guys.
Twitter is typically just stupid. Jed!
Oh, when we made the Archivist Twitter, we couldn't have Pop Culture Archivist as our tag, so we had to do, like, cut it up and shit. Hey, everybody! Without you guys in the chat, I'm going to the chat first. Without you guys, like I said, what I always say every week, it would just we'd be just talking to the walls and shit, you know. So I am here on my Screwball Society account right now, though, and I'm also in the Archivist set. And January on the Screwball Society channel, me and Retro are going to have a morning show, so that's fun to look forward to. And the Archivist will be back in January also. But if you want to see me, I'm here every Thursday night on a Thursday night Throwdown, and I kick it over tomorrow night over on the MFer when Matt, you know, is not sick and he's not fucking Bree with her hammer toes and shit. So, you know. Thank you, comics.
You're welcome. Last but not least,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not going to make it that long at all. Listen, Saturday, we're going to be doing the OC Bros, where we talk about the OCs, one of the greatest series in television history. Here in about an hour, maybe hour and a half, I'm going to be doing one of my speakeasies, a late night thing where I just bring people on.
What is that?
Bullshit.
Why are you talking so fast?
What? Because I'm not trying to take up 30 minutes. By the way, you can subscribe to me and never watch a fucking second of my shit. I don't care. I need the
I've already
subscribers.
done that.
But,
I've already done that, Matt.
of course. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Bye, guys.
If it makes you feel any better, Mads, I'm not subscribed to you and I don't watch your shit.
Yeah, and after that ignorant crack, that's
Look
a
up, he's
subscriber
like,
you're not going to get at me there.
Asshole.
Well,
Anyway,
if I knew how to block you on this channel.
Yeah, I think it's just called not showing up.
I know.
Let's fuck with you, dude. Tim's talk for $2. They fly now. Most iconic line in cinema history for all the wrong reasons.
No doubt.
What's up, Tim?
Subscribe to Tim Talk. He's a good.
But by the way, that is Tim right there. He really
that
does
is
look like
Tim.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Good content. Good guy.
Benjamin Flinsbore for 100. Danish Krona. Good morning, gents. George. Sorry, Tox. I am late to the game. It's all right, man.
Dang.
Everybody
loves George.
I think that covers everything.
It's because they don't see the true George like I do.
What's the true
Yeah,
George?
he has the soul of an angel. You take that back.
You see that halo?
He's got a soul of an angel and his bowels are immaculate.
Yeah.
The greatest trick the devil ever played was to make everyone think he doesn't exist. He's
Anyway.
a wolf in cheap clothing.
Thanks to all of you who hung out with us tonight. Totally appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for hanging out. It was a good time. Hopefully you were entertained. And if you were, and you just happened to stumble across this, hit that subscribe button for some reason.
His chest hair isn't even real.
How can you not have real chest hair? What
You
do
don't have real chest hair.
Hell, he's got real chest
Technically
hair.
don't have chest hair, but whatever.
You don't have chest hair. It was all
No, I'm
burnt
kidding.
off,
I-
Mad. So, you know.
No, dumb. It's a donor site. It's where they took the skin to put on the burns. So in your face. I did almost lose a nipple, but that's a whole different other story.
Interrupting people.
Who did I interrupt?
Jed.
He doesn't
Oh
count.
my God! There you go again.
Good night, folks. It was great hanging out with you.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. A huge thanks to all the Subscribe Star supporters. Without you, Comics Division would probably be crying in a corner somewhere. The big spenders: Roger the Shrubber, Toxic Manflu, and HMStix. I'm a sucker with a lot of dough. David Blair. Take my money, damn it. LDH 27513. Dexidoodle. J.A.F.O. Subscriber number 22F2C6C3. And that 70s rock fan. I'll buy that for $1. Colin D. Mech AG94. Jenna Lyn. DiabloDame, John B, user C2B7C4F4, and Stand 4. Thank you all for your support. You are awesome.
You